not so hot on. You know, I've seen talent and just teams kind of ignoring the. Quincy, EG, Undying is, you know, stomping on the lesser teams. It's like, is it the draft or is it just the players?
That's true.
Always a question.
Yeah, that is weird. It's like how much of our meta has developed around like playing around a team that's not going to make as good of map moves as you. Like if you're you know, Quincy crew and you're playing against some like Arkosh Gaming, you're going to want to pick heroes that can take all of the infinite space that's available on the map, which is going to be awful against a team like OG. Well, maybe I should pick a team that's actually going to major, Team Liquid or something like that. And you know, that might be an issue, but it might also be a strength going into the major.
And that's where I think these last few games are really interesting because, like, EG against Quincy, they're not just picking hardcore for the lanes like they do against the other teams. They're like, okay, we just need to win the lanes and we'll win. They were picking like 5-position Legion and crazy stuff. Yeah, they lost with it, but we are seeing a different meta when these top teams play each other, and that's exactly what we've got in store now. We've got to draft our first game of this best of 3, Undying versus Quincy. A lot at stake. Quincy, a win here puts them in first place in the North American DPC, eliminating Undying, securing Quincy assault the major. Undying, a win here will force that same 3-way tiebreaker between these two teams. Genius. We'll see those early bans here. Any surprises so far, gentlemen?
Are these the right teams? Is this supposed to be flip-flopped? Undying banned Enchantress themselves?
Maybe it's the first pick priority because I guess Quincy themselves have played some Enchantress, but
I'm not surprised to see Viper taken though, because we talked about this before. It's a hero that has kind of we used to see it in the second phase, sometimes even last pick, because it has some flexibility between the offlane and the mid. The fact that it denies you like bristlebacks of the rule, anything that can get broken that will actually have
Timber,
an impact. It just
a lot of the cheese
gets rid of all of them. Yeah, you could literally follow this up with a Timbersaw second pick. But then you know it's mid. I don't like it.
Well, two of the heroes you guys mentioned, Abba, Lesh. Those are like two of the first 3 heroes that came to mind when asking about heroes to see this series.
Viper definitely. This is like a really Quincy Crew specific hero. For some reason, like every team bans a Viper against Quincy Crew, and they're the only team that seems to be first phasing. And I would imagine it's because of just like the ease of drafting when you actually have a Viper in the game. It's like we were mentioning, you don't have to worry about these Bristles, Timbers, these heroes that would otherwise like, oh, they last pick Timber, we lose, GG. Like, you don't have to worry about that with this Viper hero. And also, if you have 2 players that can play it in Lelis and Quinn, and they both play it spectacularly well, then why not? It's so flexible. You can just throw it in the offlane. So it's cool. I think other teams should definitely adopt this. Like, I think this is something Quincy Crew does differently. And the Abaddon is also something they did differently. And I'm glad to see teams are actually picking this up from them.
I wish you would have stopped talking, because I would have said AA would be a great counter to Leshrac, because we see AA banned first 2 all the time, and then they just follow up with Leshrac. It used to be like the Morphling, used to be the Alchemist, Timbersaw to some degree, but it seems like teams really value the AA versus Lesh. And the fact that you get it against an Abaddon as well is even better.
I've seen teams pick it against the Abba, surprisingly, because like I know ABBA players out there will be like, oh, you know, ABBA counters the AA because you're not about healing, you're about damage reduction, so you can save somebody from the Ice Blast. But I've seen a lot more people actually picking the AA into ABBA now, because you just prevent him from healing in his ult, you prevent him from using the Miscoil, and that's, you know, pretty annoying. He commits, he gets in there, so you can always get the Ice Blast on him as well. But AA just seems like a really highly valued pick too right now. Like 57% win rate hero with like 1,500 picks in the last 7,000 in 7K plus pubs. I mean, that's an insane win rate for that many picks. So it just seems like it's ubiquitously broken hero right now, and people definitely need to value it highly.
And definitely one of those things, I think what you said about Viper, where it prevents you picking certain heroes, the same can be said for AA. Any heroes relying on heavy regen, it prevents your opponents from picking a lot of things, saving you from having to ban some of those cheese picks, for example.
Yep, no Huskar, no Alchemist, Timbersaw, Bristle, like all of these heroes just seem terrible in this draft.
Well, in the same vein, Quincy Crew could also, as a result of having a hero like that, pick those heroes that would have been. But then again, there's heroes like Shadow Demon that we've seen get priority in terms of position 5s that end up just getting a shit ton of farm if they have like Luna on their team, and then they end up getting Ags, and then they kind of turn the tables.
As far as that mid matchup goes, you guys have talked a bit about Brawl versus Quinn, how both players super active. Are there any kind of heroes you're looking at? Like, would you be happy if Quinn is playing this Viper, or do you think he needs to be on something more active this game?
5 seconds.
I mean,
He's been successful on Viper.
He's been good on Viper, yeah.
It's definitely not his typical hero, but I think in the pregame, that little video you guys showed kind of talked about how Quinn's kind of opened up his picks a lot, because he used to just be a spirit boy. And I always thought that, it could be a benefit, but in a lot of ways it's a con, because you know what the pick is immediately. It would first to pick Quinn's hero pretty much every time, and now there's a lot more flexibility in the draft.
Yeah, they've definitely ascended in that way in this season. Like, both teams have had these like really tangible, obvious changes to either like their drafting or their play, which I guess the question is like, which is the better improvement? And we're going to see the answer to that here today. But yeah, it's really nice looking at Quincy Crew's draft. Like, knowing that this team is probably going to go to the major, that you're not just going to have some, European or Chinese team or whatever be like, oh, these guys, like, they always do this, and then our guys just get knocked out of the major because they're so damn predictable. It's like you don't know with these heroes. Like, I could even see a 4-position AA possibly, because the Knicks got banned in the first phase. That's not a ban on MSS. That's a ban on SVG. They've been running that the SVG 5 Knicks. So these guys, like, they do some crazy swaps for this season in their draft, and it's been looking really good.
And something where, I think with Quincy, what you're saying as far as maybe them being at a major is like, maybe it's my NA bias, but I feel like this team could legit be a team that gets top 4, top 6 at a major if they're suddenly playing their best Dota.
Yeah, I agree.
Why not top 1, Dakota? Why not top 1?
Top 1 at the major is possible. Hey, look, first they're going to win the NA DPC.
That's true. That's a starting point. I mean, going upper division is a pretty big deal. We saw, Quincy Crew obviously started in the, what was it, the group? What was that even considered? The lower div? No.
Who the hell knows?
That was
a crazy format.
It was wild cards, group stage, and then playoffs. Those are the 3 stages.
So they were in the group stage, right?
Yeah.
Right. And I don't even know if the ANA major is going to have the same format or not. I'm not sure if that's been announced.
I think it
yet,
will.
but...
I think it's been announced. All the majors have the same format. Yeah.
Okay.
5 seconds.
So that was chosen by Valve, is what you're saying. Interesting.
That was the Valve. I think that was announced on the Valve website coming in, or at least the number of teams in each stage was announced. And I think the actual format itself was predetermined by Valve. That wasn't like a PGL1 esports assignment format. That's the Valve one. Definitely, I think there's a lot of feedback and people who weren't super happy, and I think we'll see some tweaks next year with how the points and the majors work, perhaps.
For sure. You do have the Hoodwink Bushwhack into Lesh stun, so that's some sort of a setup. Of course, you need to be next to a tree, but that's what they needed, something like that. And it also denies MSS from picking it up on Quincy Crew's side as well. But it looks like he'll be playing Clockwork.
We've actually never seen Team Undying play Hoodwinky before. This is their first Hoodwinky game, so that's really interesting. Yeah, no, they haven't picked it. They're just straight up doing this like against Quincy Crew. This is their ace in the hole. That's a saying. I've definitely heard that before.
It's correct usage. Well done.
Thank you.
Do you think it's a block pick? Because obviously MSS has played a lot of the Hoodwink, and I imagine Quincy probably would have been happy to have it as a 4.
Ooh,
I think so. It's a nice stunner to like play with the Viper in lane. I think it makes up for like what Viper lacks, which is mobility, running around, doing stuff, and actually stunning people.
See, the problem with this Terrorblade pick, well, it's not just that. They don't really have any illusion clear right now, but you still have 2 picks to do so, right? I feel like Terrorblade last pick would have been, maybe it would have been banned though.
I guess this allows them to flex the Lesh track now into offlane mid, so they can use their last pick to potentially get a mid laner.
True.
I mean, it's good. Like, if you get this TB to like 3 items or something like that, I don't see what like a Clock AA Viper is going to do. Like, if he's got a Scotty Manta, like BKB or something like that, these heroes do absolutely nothing to a TB. Even Clockwork, if you hook the TB, you just spawn an illusion, and then the battery assault does basically no damage. So I think you need an answer for this. It's funny because we're talking about all the stuff that these Quincy Crew heroes deny. None of them really deny the illusion heroes. So that's the one cheesy type of hero. Maybe there are other archetypes, but that is definitely one archetype that they were missing in terms of countering. So I think they need something now to deal with this.
And
AA Blast counter Sunder, right?
it does not, right?
No, it does not.
Yeah, I think that's what's
HP,
cool about
okay.
this TB pick is so many carries rely on like the satanic health regen, you know, the agi carries, but TB is one of the few that doesn't really go satanic.
True.
He's got
Yeah.
Sunder, and this is one of the few carries that doesn't get really soft countered by an AA.
That's actually got to be one of the reasons why AA is so strong. Like now that you say it, like that makes a lot of sense. That like satanic is like the carry item in the late game now. Like every single carry is going like Sanjin Yasha Butterfly Satanic. It's like, for God's sakes, that's been the build forever. But it's really good, and AA just makes it like you can't purge the AA blast like you can purge a spirit vessel. So yeah, that's maybe like if you could look at the win rate of this TB hero versus AA, it might have actually like compared to the other carries, it might be much higher in this patch if you could actually see the difference on Dota buff or something like that, just because of that non-satanic factor.
We've got a stats man, so he might be able to help us out once we get into the game. But
That's
Darkseer
very
Suns
specific.
fan. Are you liking what we've seen from Quincy, the Darkseer response, putting Viper mid?
Well, Lyrical's gonna be really happy with this pick. I mean, it's a cool pick. I feel like I don't know why we see it
10 seconds.
more often. I feel like his Ags is really good now with the Ion Shell shenanigans.
5
You
seconds.
have good late game always with this hero because, especially with Terrorblade, who has ridiculous stats. So just making illusions out of him is really strong and just a very survivable offlane hero.
It's Rayna's turn to ban.
Yeah, this does indicate that Viper will be mid, right?
I think.
Have we seen Yawar play Viper before?
Oh God, that's that. I mean, he probably could do it because he has played the Lesh, but I feel like Lesh, even though he is like an offline carry, he still plays fairly similar to a traditional carry and does damage like a traditional carry. Like I think a Viper is way closer to an offlaner than it is to a carry when compared to something like a Lesh, which I see Yawar as like a very hard carry style of player. So Lesh isn't like too far out for him.
Well, Undying banning out Sven, they seem to think they're looking for a carry, and then you've got Quincy banning out some kind of cheese picks, the Brood, the Invoker less cheesy, but something that Undying know when to run, the mid Invoker. And they definitely, you know, probably want to have that kind of space creating hero if they're going to be playing this hard carry TB. They need heroes that can kind of run around and make space. So
yeah,
we'll see what they do end up going for.
I like Juggernaut for Quincy. That's a Yawar hero. You got Magic Immunity versus Leshrac.
Good call.
Okay. And the fact that he couldn't Sunder through Blade Fury, and the fact that you can buy the Shard now on Juggernaut, so actually doing damage in Blade Fury is pretty huge for that hero.
Having the Lesh is nice, because I feel like a lot of times you talk about PL as the TB counter, but you've already got a Leshrac to deal with it. So instead, it's going to be just a classic Wraith King. Nothing spicy about this, but just going for a standard carry.
Yeah, that is really standard. I mean, there's no like big wombo that you're dodging. You're not really that good at clearing through the illusions. It's just like, okay, Darkseer will handle that, and Wraith King will just, you know, kill everybody else in the late game. Fair. Maybe they also are going to be relying on Quinn to get some like illusion clear items, like early Mjolnir, that sort of thing. But what we need a mid or an off lane, preferably that like amplifies. Oh, they go for Doom.
Oh.
All right. That seems like more like a grimace over there, Suns fan. You know, like
no, I like Doom. I don't know what the purpose of him in this game is, though.
It's good against Darkseer.
Yeah, dooming, well, sure. Yeah. Well, typically you'll pick a Doom against something that just completely counters their carry or their mid, which it doesn't.
Wraith King is the hero that counters Doom.
Yeah, and you can surge away the Doom target too. Like it doesn't like chain purge or anything like that. That's
Doom has looked really good in some of the other regions. It's been one of like the prioritized offlaners in China at least, but something we just have not seen here in NA. And well, any final thoughts? Who you guys have for game number one? Suns fan, I'll start with you.
I'll go with Quincy Crew. Okay, that's my reason.
I'm going to go with Quincy Crew as well, Dakota. I think that they have stronger lanes, and I don't really think this Doom pick is all that great.
All right. Well, you've heard it there. I'm going to go for Undying because that's my reason too. And we're going to head to a quick break. When we come back, we've got two casters. It is Lyrical and PPD. We'll see you then.
Prepare for battle.
You need to be like a shark.
Take a knee, peasant.
I'm so strong, guys. I'm so strong.
Welcome, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, all you fine folks out there. We got game number 1. Peter, you look so crisp and clean in your beautiful camera. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. There's a Darkseer in the game. Can I tell you something?
That's your hero, huh?
I've played 27 Darkseer games in the past week.
What do you think?
I'm a fiend. It's a great hero. Obviously, otherwise I wouldn't be doing it anymore. Do you like the hero? You a fan?
I'm a fan of the hero when it's in a good game. You know, I play to win these days. So, yeah, I do think it is a good game though. Direct counterpick to the Terrorblade. We've seen Darkseer a couple times as responses to these sort of like ranged, almost immobile agility cores, like Terrorblade in this game, but more commonly Medusa. I think Darkseer is also very good against. Just putting the wall on them in the mid game is like the illusion just owns, right? It's so good.
Yeah. It's really cool. And we are having a quick pause right now, waiting for the rest of, I'm not sure if there's a disconnect or what, but there's some issue going on. But we will get into that game in a second. But yeah, I think that's a really, you saw this Terrorblade pick. Undying had taken Leshrac for themselves. And then there was this question, okay, how do we deal with it? Let's go to the tried and true classic answer, which is the Darkseer wall. That Doom last pick, though, feels like that threw me a little bit for a loop. Do you talk a little bit about why you think that they went for this Doom here?
Well, I don't know. People like it against Darkseer, sort of, because if you lane the Doom against the Darkseer, the Doom can just get like crazy farmed, right? He can even go Hand of Midas first item, or just rush early phase boot drum plus BKB and be a real force on the map. Picking it into Wraith King and AA doesn't make a lot of sense to me, so I'm also just kind of sitting here curious, waiting to see how this last pick works out for them. Not personally a fan, but I'm open to learning.
Okay, well, we can always learn a little something from watching two of the best teams in this region for sure. Duke it out here again. What could be the final match of the NA DPC, depending upon if Undying are able to pull this one out and force tiebreakers.
Saberlight's walking into 5 right now.
Uh-oh. Didn't see him go past, and they're going to go for the little wraparound here. It kind of feels like Undying might have an idea this is going on. And Tomato actually.
I don't think they do.
Run into him. Oh no, the body block's coming in. The stun is out. MSS right on top of him. But they're able to catch him. Force back. I don't think it's still going to be enough. With MSS having that iron shell on him. Tries to go for the deny, but it won't happen. Quinn gets first blood.
Yeah, nice move from Quincy Crew. Starting game 1 off with some momentum. Getting up there is 5 early. Obviously a conscious decision. And yeah, getting an opportune first blood.
Now, because of that, we do see Lelis TP to bottom as we're taking a look at mid there, the Lesh versus a Viper matchup. But that means since he TP'd, they can't dodge this lane. It's going to be Saberlight versus him.
Yeah, I don't think it's too bad. I think Doom gets a lot of farm, but like we were kind of saying, I'm not sure if it's really that great of a Doom game. So I'm not sure how much work he's going to be able to do, and if he does have a lot of net worth. He is still 1v2. At least for now.
God, that's a lot of harassment that they can lay into him. We'll see if they can get any pulls off and sort of put him in an awkward position. But this does mean it's a full-on tri lane up here, trying to secure this TB as farm, and Tomato should have a free time.
Yeah, I think my concern, once again, is just like this is such a bad tri lane for Radiant. We kind of saw this saw Sad Boys play a few weeks ago. They had like a Warlock plus Lion aggressive tri lane. That just didn't work out. I feel like these heroes just kind of lack synergy. They lack stuns and slows to let them all 3 connect with their right clicks, right? They have 2 melee heroes basically with Terrorblade Abaddon and a Hoodwink who, sure, he can do the stun, but what's the follow-up? How do you convert these stuns into kills?
Absolutely. It feels like you're just sort of plinking them down, and I do like taking Reflection here at level 1 for Tomato to try and get that extra harass in, but 28-second cooldown. We'll see if he can sort of keep up that continued pressure, or if they can secure the pull too, since right now that is blocked out, I think, just by that sentry ward there. It's Moon takes the rotation over. Oh, he's just going to stack. Okay, interesting. and then secure the rune.
Thanks, guys.
So trying to help out his mid a little bit here, it looks like, although Bryle is being bullied back by Quinn. Haven't really talked about it yet. 8-2 versus 6-3, going for the kill and will get it.
This is the CCNC Viper. People have been banning this hero for a reason, I guess.
Jeez. That's scary.
They're going to get on your war top here. Yep.
Ooh.
Like I'm getting level 2. It's just enough. Like this meta is just so strong. I was kind of surprised he didn't take it at 1, but this is a bit of a better timing for them, I suppose.
Okay.
And with that kill, and he has his advantage, meta is going to be down. Hoodwink goes bottom to, start pulling.
Okay. Saberlight might be in some trouble here, as level 3 on Darkseer means level 2 Ion Shell. Good amount of damage laid out, about half his HP pool. Will be forced to use that salve. And it looks like, again, this should turn into afterwards, some scary stuff potentially if they can sort of isolate these targets. I guess Saberlight's got a lot of HP though.
Yeah, he's got a good health regen too. He's got a bracer and he's got Scorch Earth for when he's in big trouble. It's going to be Doom is good in this lane, I do believe. So they should both be farming pretty well. But I think Darkseer is very happy in these lanes where he gets to split farm, because usually Darkseer, it's pretty easy to deny creeps against Darkseer. So usually Darkseer loses his lane. But it's that mid game tempo, right? Surging the clockwork when he's got a couple levels. That's kind of where he makes up for it. And then obviously he's got great team fight with the wall of replica.
Right. Yeah, that stuff's good for sure. Surge forward there to snipe the courier. Nicely played. Leslau pulling the creep wave past afterwards while farming underneath his tower. And this should actually not going to be able to connect up with the creep wave. So instead, he's going to have to farm it out, as well as this camp here. So trying to get whatever farm he can as a bushwhack comes in, but there's nothing really afterwards.
Yeah, lanes in general are pretty even. I think the lane that I'm really worried about, which is usually the lane you're not supposed to worry about, is your mid lane. And with this dominant Viper pick, he's going to get level 6 here pretty soon. And Bryle might be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, scary stuff for sure. God, Quinn is just up in his face right now. A full level ahead of him and about to get level 6 like you're talking about.
Yeah, he did get the first blood, which gave him an earlier bottle than Bryle. But then also I think there was just a bit of outplay on that first death for Bryle there. And now he's just in a tough spot.
Oh, MSS gonna run into Moon Meander yet again. Battery assault, cogs are there. And the slow, steady beatdown doesn't have the iron shell, so we'll see if they might actually just get this kill. Moon in trouble, and he's gonna fall.
What time is it?
Not good. The panel was kind of talking about how they sort of stole this hoodwink away from Quincy's crew, right? MSS has been playing a ton of it. We hadn't seen Undying play it yet, but looking, Moon Meander really struggling this game, especially so far.
Yeah, not looking great. We'll see if he's going to be able to sort of come back later on and maybe make some sick bushwhacks happen or something. But right now, definitely a struggle.
Yeah, the hero's just not much of a roamer. It really just wants to sit in a side lane and play there, all the time. And he needs at least boots or a windlace or something before he just wants to start roaming the map. He ported bottom because he didn't feel like he could do anything top, but I think that was more so a problem with their original idea to even aggressive tri-lane in the first place with Abaddon and Hoodwink supports.
Ooh, Dubu getting gone on, but instead it's the turnaround. You are maybe out a bit too far. And do they have enough to find that kill? 14 HP, Moon gets the finish. So went out a bit too far there on that attempted kill for the ABBA.
Yeah, I think he was expecting it just to be 2 heroes, but Moon Meander with that roam, just walking back top with no TP, is able to be a difference maker.
Do Radiant want their power?
You can see Bryle here had to sit and found for a little bit. Quinn's actually gonna immediately deward the ward placed down as LOA will drop up top. So dewards the ward that Bryle brought in, and now keeping this catapult alive. Yeah, this is a ton of damage.
Level 8 versus now going to be level 6. Bryle's tower did take a lot of damage. However, it's not dead, and he will now have his ultimate if he wants to go jungle. And Moon Meander did stack at least 1 camp for him. There's not any other stacks, but at least he doesn't have to lane against this Viper to continue his game.
Right. I don't know who's going to though. Like, who
No
the hell
one-
can
no-
come mid?
No one's going to. They can have a Batten or Hoodwink kind of like sit behind the tower and try to draw creeps, but losing this tower isn't really the end of the world for Radiant. As long as their side lanes are still stable, which I would say they are. Terrorblade and Doom are both still farming their side lanes. Mid lane's unfortunate, but it's not that big of a deal. And Viper is a hero that always kind of gets that good early start because he's so dominant in laning phase. What you need to abuse is just his immobility. So just kind of making plays happen on your side lanes and forcing Viper to rotate a lot around the map is his weakness. And Quinn is going those bots first, which does make up for that kind of slowness around the map, but it's still something you can exploit with this hero.
Okay. Well, that'll be something that, you know, they try and do is see if they can catch him out. And on the other side of the map, Leslau has made the rotation, and actually Tomato, he has Sunder available, going to be forced to use it now as the vacuum back to get the Cold Freak proc. Doesn't quite connect in time, so they'll back away, getting some pretty good damage out there and able to force the Sunder.
Yeah, so if the laning phase is pretty much over now, the side lane cores have abandoned their lanes and are going elsewhere. You can see Radiant really wants to continue the fight on the side lanes with their heroes, whereas Dire, you know, this Raid King, after that second death, he just wants to farm and play catch up. So,
right.
Will they take the fight to Viper? Probably not too soon. Maybe wait for their supports to get level 6 before they try to kill him. But I definitely expect them to start fighting here pretty soon while Wraith King's AFK jungling.
And they're looking for it, actually. They are trying to get this fight in. Clockwork is nearby as Saberlight breaks the smoke. They reveal, and that gets Quinn away from the gank attempt.
Yeah, it's really bad for Radiant that this gank wasn't successful. They chose to, I mean, they did defend their mid tower, which is nice, but I feel like it's just going to die eventually anyways. And what has happened as a result is the AA has gotten a free level 6 up top, and he's actually picking up a bit of farm, which is going to be really helpful for him. And when they probably should be just focusing a lot more of their efforts into just pushing this top tower.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, we'll see if they try and do that now. Bryle is making the move up here.
This ward has been owning from SVG.
Yeah, it's really good, man. I mean, we'll see. Like, if LOA can hold this tower when you have 2 cores up here and Dubu, like, it's just not a good time.
Oh, they're gonna fight it too. Clockwork is not level 6 though, but maybe he's gonna let Clock leech, and it looks like he just wants to bait, right?
Yeah.
Viper does have bots now, so he can definitely be up here for this defense.
Well,
A level 6 Clock though.
down bottom, they're keeping this pressure on here as the TP's going to come in. Looking for it. LOA has that level 6. Bryle got to be careful and get the hell out of there. And MSS keeps the vision on him. It's a dead Lesh. It's done. Damn, dude. They are making moves. Can they find a punish, though? Down bottom. Duar does have that level 6. Hasn't leveled up his ultimate yet. But has a full mana pool, and actually he's going to go for it now. Leslau in the area as well. Has the surge, uses it a little bit prematurely, and this might set up for the kill after the fact as the break comes out. Trying to walk out of there. No surge afterwards. They don't have Ice Blast either. He's doomed. He's just done. So a good rotation coming from Undying as they manage to find that kill on the Wraith King.
Yeah, both teams are getting a little sloppy there. Not bringing numbers and getting outnumbered basically by the enemy team's towers. So all 3 towers still remaining for both teams at the moment, which is a bit surprising. 10 minutes into the game.
A little bit, you know, it feels like you're just sort of seeing people want to just AFK farm. Speaking of which, you can see these stats here. A couple of those cores definitely knowing how to do it. As LOA does pop the ulti, connects onto Bryle, but there's no follow-up afterwards. And even Tomato buying the tome. So yeah, they're really trying to just get him up to where he needs to be.
In games like this where the towers don't die early, it benefits the team that scales better into the late game. You know, basically because there's no towers down, this means it's going to be a pretty slow game overall.
Right.
And I feel like maybe you can favor Terrorblade in a game like this. I think that Radiant definitely has something going for them at the moment, and this early game has not really been that bad for him at all. If you take a look at the net worth, obviously you have Doom on top. He's kind of a net worth sponge, but Terrorblade is way more farmed than Wraith King, and it's only really this Viper on top who doesn't really do that well against illusion heroes in the mid to late.
True. It looks like they're not going to catch him here either, I don't think. Yeah. In fact, Quinn is the one that's being caught here for a moment. A lot of damage out onto him as Moon
Moon's
eventually
dead? Okay.
drops before the threshold. What was that?
It's just hoodwink things, you know.
Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, they're in there for a moment, trying to find themselves a quick and easy kill.
Saberlight.
Saberlight.
Yeah, Saberlight went for a solo play. Got himself killed to that clockwork. This guy is level 8 now, almost 9. MSS is going to be a beast this game. Got the Darkseer to buff him up as well.
Oh, yeah.
Be a force.
And Leslow's going straight for that Aghanim Scepter on this Darkseer. So, you know, sometimes this can be a little bit greedy, but feeling like he can do it in this game. And, I mean, giving just that extra HP and all the damage over time that comes out, I mean, it's gonna rip through the Terrorblade for sure.
Oh, yeah. And he's got the perfect partner, right? He's got a Wraith King and a Clockwork. And I think... Yeah, this Clockwork is such a good Clockwork game. I think it's really good at locking down and killing the Leshrac, obviously, but also the Hoodwink, who's sort of an elusive hero, but really struggles with the cogs unless he has ultas up and he can knock himself out. But I also think it works really well against Abaddon, and that's because Clockwork is one of these heroes that modifies your enemies' like positioning and mobility, right? They can't leave cogs. Therefore, Abaddon's Aphotic Shield doesn't actually remove the disable.
That's a good point.
Yeah, because you can't remove the cogs. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It's a bit of a weird one.
Yes.
Like Sprout.
It's the same as Sprout, and it's the same as like Tusk with the Ice Shards. It's like Abaddon isn't really that good against those heroes because they're not really removing a debuff. Oh, Hookshot missed on mid lane. That's going to be Saberlight living because of that.
Seth's getting comfy, a little bit too comfy, throwing out that hook shot. I think he didn't even throw the flare for it, but regardless, manages to escape on the Doom.
Yeah, so
6 to 7 down bottom. Chance, Ice Blast is coming in afterwards. This is going to be a dead Lesh. Most likely, it's not quite on the mark. Instead, hits the other heroes as Quinn chasing in on the Moon Meander, still taking a lot of that diabolic damage.
This isn't too bad though. I think CCNC's game has really slowed down. He's gotten these bots and this Dragonlance, but his farm is, he's getting caught up to, right? You see this Terrorblade constantly pushing over him, Doom catching up, Lesh catching up. I think Radiant is getting a lot more of the map, and I feel like it's the farm speed between Terrorblade and Wraith King that's making a lot of the difference at the moment.
Right.
But they're on the Terrorblade.
Can they kill him? Moving on in, Aphotic Shield afterwards, still has Sunder available. This is not an easy kill. In fact, they're going to have to turn their attentions on to Dubu, whose ulti gets popped, and now everybody wrapping around, vacuum into the hook shot afterwards. Cogs catches onto both of them. Duar moves on in, wants to get some extra damage, and Quinn trying to back away. The haste, or the surge rather, will keep him alive. And Yuar turning, ulti going to be popped afterwards. MSS already going down, Saberlight barely able to live through this one as Bryle will eventually fall. So the tally is Clockwork for the Lesh.
Yep, nice timing there by Quincy Crew, recognizing that Terrorblade did not have meta, able to take a 5v4, essentially. Terrorblade kind of showed up, but didn't really do that much. But Radiant fought well. They managed to save their Doom just barely, which would have been a huge kill for Dire. And yeah, the only casualty was the Lesh, who is, kind of just like suicide farming this game. And I don't think it's that bad for them.
Okay. Yeah,
Wraith King ult did go on cooldown again there, so he's going to be chilling. That's like dying twice on Wraith King before level 2 ult, right? That's a lot of time. Like, I don't think you want to like use your ult twice before 12 usually.
For sure. He did go for this armlet build, now going back for the Radiance afterwards. And as you mentioned, that's sort of going to be one of the things that is stalling on his farm. But he's still not that far behind the Terrorblade, only about 400 gold or so.
Yeah, but I think Terrorblade sort of counters his hero a lot. Like you can steal the auras, right, with the reflection. And Terrorblade can only hit one target. He is going to go this Radiance, but he's going to be really squishy, even though he does this. Sometimes you'll see this armlet build. A lot of times they go into Desolator. That's more of like a, I'm active, I want to fight, I want to push towers. My team lost early game. I need to contribute, sort of a build. And it might not be enough to stay up with this Terrorblade, who I think is quite the counter.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, we'll see if they're able to make the most use out of these other heroes, the Darkseer, the AA. It's not perfect, for sure. And going to run into some issues. Right now, at the very least, though, it's a smoke rotation moving in. Smoke hits. They had an inkling, and Yuar will back out.
First item
So-
BKB for Saberlight, so Radiant wants to fight.
Yeah. They get involved here for sure. Quinn queuing up his own BKB after getting that Dragon Lance.
Yep.
Anything else that's really changing? I guess MSS when he gets his Blade Mill will be pretty good.
Yeah, Blade Mill is good. Ag Scepter for Darkseer is pretty huge. I really think if Wraith King wants to go this Radiance, I feel like that's your timing for Quincy Crew. Sure, they can make stuff happen, and they might be able to squeak a kill out onto Terrorblade with some, with a clever smoke gank, but it also could just turn right around on them if he manages to get Sunder off.
Right. Yeah, it can absolutely just flip the script there in a moment. And, well, trying to farm out more of the map than the Dire is at the moment, or rather than the Radiant is, as there hasn't really been another concerted move. I'm not sure if they have any smokes left or not, but kind of annoying not to be able to make a fight happen when you get that BKB done.
Yeah, it's not ideal. Doom will be able to keep up and farm, though, with the Devour build. I'm sorry, it doesn't have max Devour, but still, Devour is going to be useful for him keeping up. But yeah, definitely not ideal. I feel like their timing has to be BKBs, right? At least for Leshrac. And Terrorblade's got one queued up as well. I think Dire's lineup is kind of hard to fight into if you don't have a BKB.
True.
So they can't really just like walk up hills, because if there's 3 or 4 heroes there, they're gonna explode.
True. Definitely. Dubu can walk up hills a little bit, but might get punished for it. His ulti gets off, but they pull him back to the other side of the cogs. Nice done there by Leslau as the beatdown will continue, and eventually they get the finish. 200 gold away from Ags on that Darkseer.
Yeah, I'm trying to see how is this happening. Like, I feel like Radiant is getting all 3 of their lanes pushed in, which is very good for them, and they're farming all of their neutrals. But I mean, here, Wraith King is getting his ancients, and he's probably gonna they're not gonna respawn at 19, so he is missing out on a bit of, or Dire is missing out on a bit of net worth in this last couple minutes.
Yeah.
And
they might match
on the
up
left
to it,
top,
though.
he's got no friends. But they're porting
Does have a Yules, and it looks like Quincy are going to back out. So they force a lot of rotations. Oh, Bryle gets hit.
That's okay. Abaddon's
it's not gonna be enough.
Abaddon shield is pretty nice for Sael.
Yeah.
The heal, not as good.
Still, a lot of heroes forced to that top side of the map while Quinn's going to farm out the jungle that they're going to be following him through. And some pressure on towards mid now. It's like the illusion's going to come in to try and soak that up. Still not taking this mid tower. Hasn't been great for Quincy Crew.
It's a slow game. If you don't take these towers early enough, it just becomes, can you push it without having a BKB? And sometimes that's just not possible. And you can see like everybody in this game is, buying their initial kit, 1 or 2 items before kind of going into this BKB. And that's why I think Doom maybe going to BKB first item was just too early. Right? Could have maybe gotten drums, or maybe even gotten a Midas, to be honest. Like, this is such a farm game.
Yeah.
I feel like he could have Midas BKB already at this point.
It's like Dubu's going to go down yet again as the ulti popped. Yeah, he's fallen. He's just going down there now, and maybe towards mid with the Ags on Leslau, they can feel comfortable pushing this.
Everyone is just getting to their items here. Viper's getting closer and closer to BKB, and Wraith King is 100 gold away from his Radiance. So Dire is going to be online, I think, starting now. Now Radiant is still missing about 1,000 gold on Terrorblade, and a decent amount of gold on Leshrac as well. So I feel like they're going to want to continue to dodge until they hit this next item timing, which is their 2 BKBs.
Well, see if they can dodge effectively enough, or if it's even something that they want to do. Like you said, it's dangerous going into this without those BKBs. And you are also queuing up his next as well. Hit some pretty nice timings. By that point, Terrorblade should be much more formidable, though, I would imagine. Exactly.
I think once Terrorblade has the BKB, he is the kind of the boss of the fight, and I think that Dire is going to have to do like the, force the BKB, then kite it, or force meta, then kite that. Sort of play style. If they just try to man up and take a 5v5, I think they're lose against Radiant's lineup.
Well, in the meantime, a missed hook shot, and now trying to push down bottom to secure this outpost.
Saberlight is in pretty deep here. He's trying to defend his tower.
He's a little wild.
Ags finished on Darkseer. as well.
Okay. Saberlight gets hit. Has the hoof stomp afterwards, trying to bring him down. The bushwhack afterwards. Bryle's gonna die to Quinn, and Yawar is gonna walk away. Ice Blast. Oh, the vacuum wall afterwards absolutely demolishes. And now living through it. Can they get this kill on Yawar? He gets the armlet toggle off.
Terrorblade's here. He's finally got his BKB, guys. It's time to fight.
Oh, but they're already dead.
They're already dead. Well, that's okay. It's, you know, they lost maybe they're going to lose the tier 2 tower. Yeah, they're definitely going to lose their bottom tier 2 tower, but they might be able to get something back.
Well, looking for it here. They get the bushwhack, able to catch, and broken, taking a lot of damage. The shot afterwards, BKB gets off from Tomato. Has the mana for Sunder. BKB afterwards from Quinn, though. Has to go for the play on the moon.
What a snipe.
Oh my god, what a great play there. As Dubu dies, Tomato has to head back towards mid. They will kill off one life now of this Wraith King as Tomato walks back into us. Try and bring him down. Bryle eventually falls. Yo, Quincy crew are really playing well.
Quinn's definitely having a nice game on Viper. You can see why they picked this hero so early, why teams have banded against them in the past. Really understands it, is in the right spot, isn't overextending. He just mans up and fights here with that Dragonlance and DD and almost just outranging this Terrorblade.
Yeah, I don't think that Terrorblade really got that much damage out in that one, I mean, it feels like it keeps on being these like slight little weird skirmishy things where Quincy crew can like bait those small reactions out, and it's never like they don't have that hero to like start the fight on Undying, or at least they haven't been able to make that happen yet.
Yeah. To me, the real story of this game has been the supports. All right, check out the difference in these supports. Hoodwink versus Abaddon versus Clock and AA. This is I feel like every time this Lesh has been going down the side lanes, he's getting caught by, you know, Clockwork and then a BOTing in Viper. And then there's an AA blast to follow. Like Abaddon can't save the Leshrac when he gets ice blasted. And yeah, I think it just comes down to the draft. It's like, what did you get? You know, gave up such great popular supports in Clock and AA, and what did you get in return? Abaddon, Hoodwink, those are good heroes, but are they as good as these other two? I don't think so.
All right. Well, we'll see what change can come now, because they need something. Finishing off that mech now for Darkseer. BKB more than halfway done on the Wraith King.
It's the Leshrac BKB I really think they need. I mean, he has 6 deaths this game. You can see how difficult of a Lesh game it has been. They picked this hero, I think they picked it on 2-3, if I'm not mistaken. So obviously a ton of confidence with this hero. Both CC and Bryle played a lot. Really popular hero in pubs, no doubt. But yeah, maybe a little bit too early this hero, or maybe not the right bans against it.
Well, whatever the case is, it is definitely been struggling here so far, and needing to get that BKB finished as soon as possible and try and dodge away. And you can see, like, Quincy crew, this is what they're known for. They're known for shutting down the map. Like, this is the area where you can sort of live if you're Undying. And even then, like, can you really even live there? It's not super comfy.
I don't think Radiant's that weak. I mean, I think it's hard for Dire to just walk up into their triangle, unless they've got a good ward or they're coming from smoke or something.
LOA?
Nah. Yeah, next fight is going to be around Roche. Everybody has their BKBs. Okay, missed hook shot. Yawar's almost got his, but I don't think it's a huge difference maker for them. Leshrac is... he's still not there, honestly. Like, this is not good for him at all.
Struggle City for sure. Of course, once they get that timing, could change things up a little bit, but until that point, Quincy crew controlling a good portion of that map. They are going to smoke up now. Saberlight, Dubu's down bottom, actually. He's TPing down there. So they want to try and force this fight. They have a good ward. We'll spot MSS, but looking for the bigger kill onto Quinn, who's hiding away in the trees. So MSS, I mean, if he gets out also, dude, everybody's getting out. They don't even get the kill on the Clockwork. Oh man. Oh, barely able to catch him with that bushwhack. I thought he was getting out for sure. But Saberlight able to secure that finish.
Take your outpost back, guys. Don't forget. Oh, this is my biggest pet peeve. You know, when my team just doesn't take the outpost back after you clear your jungle.
Right.
You're gonna, yeah, look, Purple's pinging it. He's like, guys, the outpost, hello. They're gonna miss out on that 27-minute experience, probably even the 28-minute experience as well.
That's the way that this is going. Wow, only had more deaths in 8 of his 639 pro games. This has been one of his worst ones. Struggle City for sure. You are trying to stand tall in front of everybody else. Has that BKB, turns on to Dubu, says no more. You're right, mister.
Expecting
Now,
Dubu to buy back here.
Oh, Dubu. Tomato, rather, gets his BKB off. Has Thunder available, but they're already dead on Saberlight. They drop on Tomato. Oh, take a knee, peasant. Everybody else trying to get out of there. Do they have the hook shot available? MSS is on the other side of the map. It doesn't matter. Damn, dude.
All right, I think we all gave Radiant's draft a fair chance, but this is just like, this is just proving how bad their lineup is. Like, they have no initiation, and initiation is a bad in just walking into the Roach pit and him getting gone on. That's how they want to start fights. But the thing is, like, Terrorblade, he as a hero, he needs to play with stuns and disables so that way he can connect on metamorphosis damage. But you can see, like, Dire is just kiting and just outranging and then just poking at Radiant, and they just have, you know, they have no stuns. Right? Imagine if this Lesh was a puck, or this Doom was a, I don't know, a Sand King, or, you know, anything, a Tide Hunter, something that can go and start these fights. But really, they're all just sitting in the back waiting for the right target to appear. But the problem is that right target never appears. They only see Wraith King in front, who wants to go on him.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't even pop his ulti in that last one, which, you know, it wouldn't have mattered even if he did.
They don't want to hit him. Like, they're gonna have to waste all of their BKBs in order to kill him once, and then he's gonna pop back up, and he's got a BKB himself.
Well, they come to try and take back over the will get that outpost, so they'll have the 29-minute XP at the very least. And a smoke up now from Quincy crew right in the midst of all of them. They don't have their Darkseer for this fight. This could be okay. And BKB out, Saberlight. Tomatoes now moving into position. Doesn't have Metamorphosis though.
Ooh,
they get the Doom onto Quinn, trying to bring him down.
Does have Aegis though.
Running, yeah, I don't know if it's gonna end up. It's gonna get the ulti pop, double bushwhack on the other two. And again, Quincy crew, even when it looks like it could be a bad fight, it's a good fight. Yes. Because they know he didn't have meta.
Exactly, yeah.
Drops.
No meta. Radiant really doesn't have a chance to fight. They're basically missing 16,000 net worth in this fight, so take that 6k advantage. At 16, you're going to get a one-sided fight. They did get the kill on Clockwork, which was nice, but it's just like a little too late. Is that kind of how it feels?
Now, tier 2 tower taken now, and the backup to secure the rest of the lanes. Tomato's going for this Scotty next, has the Chrysalis, like all these little damage-oriented items, but I just feel like he hasn't been able to do anything this game at all. Yeah,
I think he really needs... I mean, the problem... Scotty's such a good item, and you want to get it, but... I mean, you almost need like a basher this game or something, because you just have nobody to actually stun the target you're trying to kill.
Yeah.
He's got the Ancient creep, right? Devour. I guess he took the Devour can target Ancients, and he's got the Frenzy. But I think what he needs this game is just a Centaur stun.
Right.
And he needs to initiate for his team, because look, here he goes.
Oh, he does have the Shard at the very least, and LOA is going to drop because of it. BKB out afterwards, Saberlight. A-Blast gets blown up. Maybe a chance here, though. They have a Tomato illusion. Get the hell out of there. MSS puts the call-ups down. You're not going this way. Has to sunder the illusion of himself, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Tomato going to drop. Can they get the kill onto Quinn at the very least? It doesn't look like it. Holy moly. That was a complete and total stomp of a fight again.
We might see some G's here pretty soon. I think Radiant's kind of give it, they gave it the college try, 2 or 3 times now, but these team fights are just not connecting at all.
Oh, and Yor just blinks in and demolishes that squirrel. Quinn's going to give him the tip, appreciating some greatness being shown here by the King. And Quincy crew looking to take this game #1, not trying to repeat the sins of the past from last series, or last season rather.
They're not going to give us those exciting tiebreakers of last season.
Hey man, it's not exciting for them. It's scary.
It's fine. It's all for the fans, right?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we'll see, but it's gonna have to come in game #2 because I think this one's pretty much over.
Yeah.
Maybe one last hurrah.
Doom last pick wasn't it? Always looking for that last pick hero to connect everything, and this hero doesn't check off any boxes that they needed.
Saberlight wants to get this kill. Quinn will get stunned up. A lot of damage out onto him, but has the Aegis for afterwards. He wants to die. He doesn't care. Go stand in that split earth.
Yeah, Aegis just... Okay, he's got 55 seconds left on it. Oh yeah, they're definitely going to stand here and finish off this Rax, I think.
Okay. Split Earth gonna connect. He's down low. Like he said, only a little bit of time left on the Aegis, but it might be enough as Saberlight just goes down in the duration of one stun. 12,000 gold lead now as all the racks will fall. Still need to take care of top tier 2 tower. And Tomato's just AFK farming right now, trying to get into that Scotty, knowing that they're going to give those up.
That's another sort of like result of this AA pick is like nobody wants to frontline for Radiant. So it ends up just being Doom, but he kind of needs to get a nice jump onto, you know, one of Dire's heroes in order for him to be useful. But, you know, if Dire ever sees Doom, they just go on Doom, and that's their win condition right there.
Yeah.
And then the other win condition is, you know, don't just run into Metamorphosis Terrorblade, right? And they've got Darkseer and,
yeah,
you know, they've got mobility items to walk away if need be.
And Peter, it sounds like they have a lot of win conditions, if I'm reading you right.
Well, it's yeah. I mean, they need they basically need to like Doom Viper before BKB. Is kind of how I see it. I don't really, or Darkseer.
Right.
They don't get either one of those guys, and I think it's impossible for them to win a fight. Even if they do get one of those guys, I think the fight is going to be incredibly tough at this point. AC now completed for Doom. Or I'm sorry, for Wraith King. Doom's done picking up items this game.
Yeah, he's not getting that much more.
He's got buyback ready.
Oh, and they're going up high ground right now. Terrorblade, in the meantime, doesn't quite have that Scotty completed. He's sending his courier out to the opponent's secret shop to try and finish that one off, but it looks like Quincy Crew going to give them a little bit of respect again for the moment and back away, play the map.
Yep. You've got 2 games. You know, you got to win 2 games here, and then you're guaranteed top 8 at the major, which is huge. So, take any chances. You know, playing the clean men's Dota game, waiting for that second Roach most likely. They've already got 2 sets of racks. They can just hang out farm their opponents, play it slow.
And that's what they want to do. So,
Wraith King not afraid though.
Oh my God. Dubu, not again. He's just hiding. Don't come at me. Does have that Wraith King illusion shooting damage back, but they're kind of grouped up here in a dangerous spot. Need to be careful about that Darkseer jump in if they want to go for it. Saberlight down to low HP. They already killed the AA, and the hook shot in comes on the Tomato. Yawar going to give up his life, but it might not even actually happen. He actually lives through the Armlet toggle. Now the turn back onto Brile. They're going to buy back on the Doom, trying to stop this absolute destruction, but you can't stop the King. Doom onto Quinn. He doesn't care. GG is called. Quincy Crew taking care of business here in the upper bracket.
Yeah, decent laning phase for Radiant, but mid-game, just nothing really connected. You know, they farmed some items, but nothing really led to them taking a good team fight, and Dire just kind of picked them apart. I think their lineup just made way more sense and had way more synergy amongst itself.
Yeah. I think there's like so many ways that it felt like they could start the fight on Quincy Crew, whether it was just like that, you know, catch from Viper, like walk
Someone's missing. What's Radiant's ban plan anyway? It's Dire's turn to ban. Ten seconds. 5 seconds. What's Radiant's ban plan anyway? Ten seconds. 5 seconds. Dire should pick now. It's Radiant's turn to pick.
Enchantress.
Ten seconds. 5 seconds.
And we're back getting ready for game number 2. Touched on some of the things that went right for Quincy and went wrong for Undying. A lot of it seemed to kind of stem from the draft
Dire
Jenkins.
should pick now.
Yeah, I think so. It's, you know, I hate to be the guy that criticizes the draft, but, you know, sometimes that's what it is. It's really hard to play a game of Dota. Like, you can't look at the mid game if the early laning phase was played horribly. You can't look at the laning phase if the
10
draft
seconds.
screwed you over. It's like there's, you know, due to the butterfly effect, it's like you just go earlier and earlier to find what has the greatest impact. And I do think the draft in that one was a big deal. Already, this is looking quite a bit different from both teams. Quincy Crew side, we have a, you know, classic double stun lane. You set up for the Mirana arrow, tons of team fight damage, initiation. That's like the do shitters that we're talking about. And then on the Undying side, we actually have the classic Dubu, Enchantress. So things are going to look a lot different this time because it's probably his best hero.
10 seconds.
Indeed. And this is the first game in recent memory where Nyx Assassin was not banned or picked. I don't remember what this hero does anymore. I haven't seen him like the whole season other than being banned every game.
Yeah, I agree.
Thanks, Jenkins.
I guess teams have forgotten when it's done. They're like, this hero's always banned. Do we pick it? And they're like, no, we don't play this hero. So the teams themselves are just like, okay, we're going to ignore it now.
Yeah, Quincy's interesting. They're like one of the only teams that picks like a certain subset of heroes. Like Nyx is one of them. Everybody else like thinks these heroes are garbage, and then Quincy's just like, yeah, we're gonna like 7-0 the whole NA region with these heroes, guys. Just watch us.
Interested to see if they add some sort of a setup
So rude
for
of you,
the
Sunspine.
Marana arrow.
That's
Thank
really
you.
rude.
I wait for somebody else to talk and then I start talking. That's kind of my style.
Of course.
People really like it. They find it very pleasing to the ears.
Be quiet.
Go ahead,
Back to you,
Dakota.
I'm just enjoying being here with you guys. It's a very different experience, you know. But getting to be a caster for the DPC, it's chill. I watch you guys. You know, you guys obviously working every series, working harder than me. I just sit back, rock up, cast a few games. You know, put on the panel downstairs on my couch between games. So it's fun to be right, you know, at the heart of the DPC broadcast here on the panel.
Gods is writing us up as okay. Fire Sunspine, fire Jenkins.
Yeah, season 3, some changes might be happening. I didn't realize what a shit show this is.
I think that a hero that would be really good for Quincy Crew is Shadow Demon. Good against Luna in the mid to late game.
Yeah.
Great setup stun for the arrow. Like it checks a lot of boxes this time around.
Even pretty solid against the Enchantress in lane. I mean, they're obviously going to put the Mirana versus the Enchantress, so I suppose that's a moot point. But it is a hero that can trade against like a lot of heroes like Enchantress that would just right click you to death. Like even something like a Timbersaw or a Bristleback, which is banned, like you can often, these heroes that want to man up on you can get a ton of stacks of poison on them. So Shadow Demon is nice because it's a block pick to so many things. Obviously with the break too, it's even more of a block pick to half of the cheese heroes in the pool currently.
Do you think it can be played as a 5 though? I feel like we haven't seen much 5 Shadow Demon.
Against a Luna, probably, just because you can take the Luna illusions and push out waves and get so farmed with like the basic spells, and then eventually get the Aghanim Scepter. Like if you're relying entirely on the break, I think you probably want to put it in a 4 position, or at least like give some farm to him as a 5, which some teams have done, is like actually letting their 5 take some farm, having their carry be like a Lesh or something like that, and then run in and be super active. I think there's ways to make it work. Roles seem like really versatile these days in terms of like who takes what, and a 5 position isn't really a 5 position sort of thing.
Yeah, it often feels like teams have 2 4.5s or like a 4.5 and a 4 because supports just get so much more farm than they used to every game.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. Still think Undying needs some stun. Like I feel the same way about this draft that I do about their last one. I like these 2 heroes better than the previous ones, but okay, there we go. That's good. That's what they needed for sure.
The old Nyx Assassin and
Finally.
Hoodwink with Mirana. Both are typically 4s. What are we looking at here?
Finally, we get to see the SVG Hoodwink. I mean, this guy's been spamming the crap out of this in pubs. This is like his favorite hero.
It could be old school as of 6 months ago, SVG position 5 Mars, gentlemen.
Oh God,
hilarious to watch.
That was a short-lived meme. They were
ultra flex. All right.
They did that once and then never again. They were done with that.
It happened at the major by one of the South American teams. Thunder Predator ran a 5 position Mars. So just saying, those guys did pretty well at the major.
They did do very well.
Some people are just ahead of their time. It's just one of those things.
It doesn't solve the problem of having 2 4 positions. They would still have 2 4s.
It's the exact same problem. Yes.
Mirana position 1, gentlemen, and you get the shard.
Yep.
Juggernaut.
Just kidding.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Jug mid.
All right, so they take Juggernaut now. Obviously, really good with the spin against basically all 3 of these heroes. You mitigate all the damage from Luna. You don't have to worry about the attack speed necessarily onto the Enchantress. And they know that it's going to get banned last pick because that's exactly what happened last draft. So I like this Jug pick a lot.
5 seconds.
Yeah, it's a UR classic too. This Jug hero, it seems. Oh, all right. Screw what I was about to say. This is a cool hero. Man, this hero, like, even when it got nerfed in the 7.29 patch, still the win rate of the hero went up. Like, it went from like a 55% win rate back when everybody's getting Necro, and then Necro literally got removed, and the Eidolons are on a lower cooldown, or sorry, higher cooldown, so you can't deny in every single wave with the level 1 Eidolon anymore. But the win rate went up. And my theory behind it was like, I think the patch has been way more teamfight heavy than the previous patch. Lots of Warlocks, lots of Marses, heroes like that, Lunas. And also, I think the whole Greaves pipe sort of build that people are doing on all of these offlaners, I think that's really good on Enigma. Like, he's one of the classic heroes for doing that. So I'm really glad to finally see this hero because the win rates looked good. People just have been ignoring it.
And a game where none of these heroes have counters to the BKB Black Hole as well. So it does feel like, hey, we're going to be running not just Enigma, but core Enigma. We've seen quite a bit of support as well as the offlane. This time around, they're going to be giving a lot of farm. Saberlight playing that. EU ping Enigma, though, perhaps a bit tricky.
That is tricky.
And they basically have, I mean, they don't have any way to stop the Black Hole if you get BKB. But what do you pick as a mid that has that capability? Is there even a mid that, I mean, Abyssal isn't even a thing anymore, right? That's a terrible counter to Enigma.
Oh, that's another really good point. Maybe that's why the win rate went up, because that's like the Enigma counter was the fact that you could just go 2 Abyssals. There's literally nothing that he could build to deal with that. Damn, dude. Didn't think of that one. You could Silencer, but then you're silencering into a Nyx, which sounds complete dog shit, but that would deal with the Enigma, at least.
You're also playing mid Silencer.
That's true. That's not very...
Which sounds a bit unQuinn-like in general.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Get caught dead.
The historic arc of heroes throughout the years, we've seen some ebbs and flows. Silencer, it's like they want it to be a carry, and it just has never really happened. You know?
That's true.
The hero is, no pun intended, an Enigma, truly. Because on paper, it sounds okay, like throughout a lot of these patches, but just never stuck.
I feel like, the only time Silence has ever been in the meta, like really in the meta is as a 5 position. It's never been like a core silence as like a standard pick. It's been like a very rare, oh, they rank core silence. Surprise.
I mean, can he do something weird and play? I know that a lot of this stuff was nerfed, but like a Hoodwink or a Mirana mid instead, and then you get the silencer as a 5.
You could also do some offlane silencer. I mean, I don't know. That would kind of. I feel like that would feed an Enchantress though. You just walk up and you enchant him, and it's the easiest kill ever.
It was Saberlight that did that last season. One game.
So I would
probably won.
I don't think the silencer is going to happen. I'm curious who has the last pick here, because it looks to me like a puck is about to get picked by Undying, and I think Quincy's going to respond with the TA. I feel like this is a fairly solid TA game. You can blink out of like all of these, if the like Nyx has to like instant stun you, and then that's the only stun that they really have other than like a black hole to like instantly catch a TA, and you can dodge all of like the Luna burst and the Ench burst.
This would actually be a pretty good game to go. We've talked about this a bit in the past, but Aghanim Scepter on TA, you get the silence on the traps as well. Basically just wait out the BKB for Enigma, but still no answer for BKB unless you get like a basher and you get a lucky Omni Slash or something. I don't know.
I'd be kind of surprised if this was not a puck. Is it banned? No,
not banned. Feels like to me it's that or Storm. They banned out 2 of the spirits with their last bans here, and DK Tiny heroes that can lane mid against many of those spirits. So puck or Storm look the most likely at least.
They do know that they have the response from Quincy though, so they're really thinking about this. This is like the mid versus mid pick right now, so you don't want to do something that's like really crazy easy to counter, but there's not much left is the problem.
Are you guys liking either side's draft better so far from what we've seen?
I like Undying's draft better personally, but a lot of it is because of the unknown of Quincy Crew, like what these positions are exactly. So puck is still there. I mean, it feels like a good puck game from Quincy Crew. Are decent. Nyx is pretty
Nyx is the only real problem, yeah. And then Storm eventual Orchid, but
Who plays this? Is this Quinn on the Brood, or is he playing the Mars? Lelis on the Brood.
Quinn
mid Mars. Okay. Wow.
Okay. Well, there's nothing to deal with the spiders.
Is that a problem?
That's a real issue here. I mean, are you going to glaive the spiders? I mean, that's awful.
Well, you get quickly, the shard on Luna. That's a free glaive, huh?
That's true. Keep throwing those beams. So, Jenkins, which I'll ask you first then. Are you with Quincy Crew at this last big Brood then?
I am, actually. I think they forgot about the Brood. I think this is a free Brood game.
I'm going to have to agree. The Brood was last banned in the last phase, last game around, and I guess they just thought they wouldn't pull it out. So Quincy Crew 2-0 going to the major.
It looks like it. Going to the major, potentially going to TI. We are loving this last pick Brood, Undying. They're going to have to hopefully have some answers, and to perhaps look for some of those answers. We'll go to a quick break and then hear from our casters, Lyrical and PPD.
You need to be like a shark.
Falling into place.
I'm so strong, guys. I'm so strong.
Are you guys gonna play the game?
Welcome back, Dota fans. We're here again for game number 2. Quincy Crew coming out with the last pick, Broodmother. PPD, is this the game-winning pick? Well, I know we've seen it happen before, but do you think that it puts some trouble out there for Undying?
It's definitely a dirty pick for sure. I mean, his last pick Brood. That's The tails all this time, right? Yeah, it's as bad as it gets. But I don't think that I feel like they do have some answers to deal with it. I feel like the Luna Ench will do fine in the early laning phase. Oh, they got action. Watch out for the arrow.
Ooh, dodges away. Quinn, dude, they're going in. They're trying to make something happen here.
Yeah, 3v4.
Okay.
5. But I feel like the Storm Spirit is going to be able to be a pretty good answer for the Brood in like that mid to late game. Like you can either jump on the Brood and grab them, or you can kind of kill the spiders, or at least protect yourself. The one concern is when Brood Mother gets the Orchid, like will the Storm have any, like will Storm go Yules to maybe deal with the Orchid, or how will he, I guess, defend this top lane is what I'm looking forward to see.
Okay, that'll be something to watch for if he needs to be the one to sort of make that move over.
Oh, look. I think they might actually just do like a tri lane again, but this time in the safe lane with Nyx and Ench plus Luna.
Wow.
And then Enigma can be solo offlane, right, with the demonic conversion denies.
Okay, I'm kind of down with that. That sounds interesting. I guess that also like Luna Ench sounds like a way better tri lane, no matter who that third person is, than the last time around we saw.
Yeah, for sure. Abaddon is, I think Abaddon's more of a hero that wants to be in a like kind of like a soak lane almost, where he's just sort of playing not to lose,
right?
Similar to like Warlock, right, where you constantly want to heal people. Yeah, but this should look a little bit better. There could be a little bit more aggressive. They have Luna to help out with the beams. It doesn't have slow on edge, which I think would be more ideal for this tri lane, but I'd still be able to make something happen.
Don't want to give away that first blood, which is why I had to heal, skill up that heal.
Yeah, a lot of Enches will get it anyways at 1. It's sort of meta, but I think because you're tri-laning, you'd rather have that disable.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if they can make anything happen here. Arrow comes out, does connect actually onto Tomato, so it doesn't go through onto that range creep.
Yeah,
but with this wave pushing it should still be fine, I would imagine.
Yeah, and I think this is really nice. If they can successfully manage to kind of limit this Brood Brothers early game. Actually, wait, the Nyx is already bottom. Okay. So they're already out of here.
Interesting.
They did win like the first wave. You know, they do have level 2s now on Dire. Radiant's a bit behind, so you can see the Ench is actually in a lot of Miranda's in a lot of trouble top right now. She's going down, I think. Yeah, she's going down.
Quick little rundown there, able to find the would do, but yeah, there's a reason this hero is dangerous, and as you said, getting that disable there at the start, really nice.
She's just like the king of laning. Like nobody beats Enchantress in lane right now, and that's why it's sometimes like such an early pick.
Right. We can see back towards mid now. Quinn playing on this Mars. Haven't seen a whole heck of a lot from him. In fact, you can see here only 2 games so far, both of them against Crazy back in June of 2020. So I guess just this is one of those things that they feel comfortable flexing if they need to, but it's not like their go-to play. Maybe some changes made in the draft based on what they saw.
Yeah, that was kind of the thing. It was their answer to the Enchantress, right? They have this Mars that could flex to the offlane, right? Joining maybe Mirana against like Ench Mars could be fine top, but you know they feel like this Brood Mother was too good to pass on. So we'll have to see if Laylas is able to truly carry the game like they're hoping he will.
Down bottom, they're going to be able to find the kill onto Moon. Just a quick little spin down after being able to find that bushwhack there. But yeah, Lelis, the one that's going to be there to try and sort of get that carry through in the game. And at least so far, I mean, it's a whole different thing nowadays with Broodmother. We've talked about it a ton. As that arrow's going to go out, takes out the range creep, and just waiting to get that level 6 for him.
Yeah, that's usually the... Brood is really good now because his laning is also really good. Like his early levels, the insatiable hunger is very, very generous for like trading. But if you have like some stuns, or if like the Brood lane isn't capable of manning up against your lane, then that's when Brood will kind of suffer in laning phase, and that's sometimes I'll have to like wait for that level 6 when he gets those spiders. When a hero without wave clear, can't deal with those. But sometimes Broods will take over the lane at level 4 or level 5. This game doesn't look like it's going to be the case. Luna is a pretty strong laner, and Enchantress obviously is also very strong as well.
Yeah, and Moon makes the rotation up there, just putting a little bit of pressure on, forces back the Brood for a second, and again, Undying take control of this top lane and put it in a really good position. But there is a bit of a wraparound coming right now. Bryle is pretty far out. Doesn't quite manage to get the connection there onto the cliff edge.
Yeah, Mirana's one of those supports that doesn't mind sort of leaving their offlaner. Brood can sometimes, just kind of play around webs and hide and be fine, and that leaves up Mirana to roam. But these missed opportunities on these ganks mid are definitely going to cost Radiant, and they're mostly just going to cost his Broodmother, who's going to have no one to help him get any CS top.
Right. Yeah, left completely alone here, zoned out, but MSS will come back in now. Tries to trade a couple hits here, maybe onto Dubu. They do have Silken Boa. Looking for an arrow afterwards. Jumps forward. Arrow's going to connect, but with that heal out, there's nothing more they can do.
And he used the Insatiable Hunger there. He only got like 1 or 2 right clicks out, so that's going to be on cooldown for 40 seconds, and he's not going to be able to trade here at all. So Dyer's going to assert some dominance here, no doubt.
True enough, they need to, because down bottom, another kill onto Moon. Saberlight did a nice play where he cut the tree with the Midnight Pulse, but they're already on top of him with the Jug, and so weren't able to stop that pressure. And you are having a completely free time in this bottom lane.
Yeah, and he's actually gotten a lot of Eidolon kills as well, which is not ideal for for Dyer, right? Jug is getting way more than free farm in this bottom lane. And yeah, Moonmander's feeding. He's kind of feeding in the last game too on the Hoodwink, just having a rough series so far. Not really finding his place. He's still level 1. Right? He started in that he kind of started in the tri lane both games and then abandoned that tri lane after being, I don't know, maybe what would you call it, unsuccessful? Which is I don't feel like their tri lane was successful this game, and that was mostly because Team Undying didn't have their shit together at minute 0, right? Like Dubu got gone on and had to skill heal, right? And if he could have got enchant, right, maybe they could feed off this Broodmother at level 1.
Well, this is what you want to see, though, if you're an Undying fan. Bryle moves on in, takes down Quinn. This is a solo kill here with Arena used. So big finish.
Yeah, this is a really nice Storm game, so I could definitely see Bryle really popping off this game. I think he's going to get a ton of farm, and they really have nothing to deal with him. Like, I'm thinking maybe Broodmother Orchid eventually could be rough, but Broodmother is having a rough game. And it's going to be a slow Orchid, and it looks he's got Hood queued up first, so maybe he's doing like the Hood into Pipe Greaves build. Right. Storm's going to love that. Storm's going to be having a free time.
Nothing that needs to be faced that's going to cause any issues for him. So I don't know. We'll see. It will be an interesting one to watch going forward for sure. Right now, Bryle just going to be content to sort of use this Arcane Rune to try and farm up, as top is going fine and like bottom's struggling, but you're not going to be able to punish a Jug. So just take care of your own game and scale up.
This is a bit like the Undying we saw in just about every series last season, where they have Tomato almost playing like a semi-carry, where I would say Luna is not your hardest carry, but generally like very good in laning phase, kind of similar to the Monkey King that was really popular for them last patch. Right. And then they have Bryle on like a harder farmer mid, like the TA, the Morphling, this game, the Storm, right? He can really carry these games while the rest of his team sort of, once they get their core items, they can start 4-manning around, and then Storm will always be able to, zip here or zip there and make something happen.
Makes a little zip go onto MSS. Won't be able to find the kill. Another arena used, but the stun is there. And Moon, is he going to go down? Still very tanky. Arrow comes in at the last second there. And that'll be enough to get the kill. Although Quinn now underneath the tower, taking those hits and will fall. Nice. Bryle gets the kill. Now, they did lose Saberlight bottom during all of that action, but still,
died again, huh?
Kill is big.
Oh, he did. Sorry, he died the first time.
Yeah,
I think it was a solo kill by Juggernaut.
Big.
So yeah, it's really big, and Jug is having a great time. Pretty good Juggernaut game, but Enigma Black Hole will still be a problem at some point for him.
Right. It looks like they want to make that point right now, as Yuar is getting smoked on. Saberlight smoke breaks. They spot him right away, but can't get in range. It's a bunch of heroes up top. They're trying to make a go now onto Tomato and Dubu. So a little bit awkward this moment right now.
Yeah, I feel like they just need more heroes here bottom with Enigma, because the Black Hole means that the Juggernaut can't really stay, because his TP will get canceled if he tries to spin out, and you see he's going to go top. Laning phase is just about over now.
As mid lane, they're going to go on Quinn again. Quick jump, spear out. Quinn, very low HP, but piles out mana. Can't get there in time. So they keep the tower alive too, at least for now.
Yeah, for now. I think it is going to go down though. They have a DD Storm and Enches here with a creep, which means they're trading top tower for mid tower. And I think it's a really good trade for them, because I feel like this bottom tower will eventually sort of like always fall. And this mid tower is more so the one that's harder to bring down in this 7 to 14 minute timing.
Well, it'll be something to watch for sure. And likewise, if Radiant can kind of make a similar move themselves, it seems unlikely. It's LOA moving in, trying to get a glimpse there onto Tomato, but not going to be able to. Undying don't feel comfortable walking up this hill right now, as Moon's still only level 3 at 9 minutes. That man needs a tome.
He will get the tome. It will be fine, and he will recover. Sometimes when you have Enigma on your team and the trialing, you can't trialing. You don't necessarily just want to go sit there with your Enigma because you're not really killing the carry. He did try playing the lane a little bit, but you saw what happened, right? They both had a rough time against the Juggernaut, just too strong. But he'll recover.
Okay. MSS in the meantime, gonna get chased down a little bit by Dubu. Leslau move into position, and a quick jump coming from Bryle. They find MSS for the kill, and now Dubu getting turned on by the Spiders. We'll have another burst here in a second. Gets the kill onto Dubu. Spiders living, taking a lot of damage, but they will be able to regen up through afterwards. So seeing the first little inklings of a terrifying sight with Leslau getting all these spiders up.
Yeah, this is a nice spot for Nick to sit though. Just kind of defend this tier 2 tower. This is when you see the broods get out of control, it's when nobody can come sit here. Right. But he's gone this hood. He's going mana boots. He's not really like the scariest. He's not the scariest spider. And if you can play near your tier 2 and just save a stun for those spiderlings when they group up, I think you'll be able to scurry away before he kills you.
You know what I'm looking forward to is Bryle's gonna get Aghanims at some point this game and hit all the spiders, and it's gonna just like crash. Like the noise it makes is always so crazy.
We'll have to remake.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but Quinn having uncharacteristically rough game, right? Them first picking his hero, him playing a hero he doesn't usually play. You can see the difference, right? Bryle is, what's the word? Flourishing.
All right. Not so much for Quinn. And again, Dubu in the right place at the right time, reading the smoke, is going to give up his life for the cause here.
No, Dubu. He's trying to get the ward. You got it. I didn't deny it. Worth. And they're going to try and get a kill onto Jug here.
Oh, this is a little crazy.
No. He's staying out of the Sentry Ward vision. They know they have that there, but I'm thinking...
Impaled open?
Vendetta damage the greed.
God. Maybe afterwards? No, they're not going to go.
Yeah, no detection for the pot of malt either.
Moon. Uh-oh.
Got him
Maybe
in his leaps.
Here? Jump in, Bushwhack, not going to connect onto Bryle. Yaward not concerned at all, just keeps on farming. Black Hole comes down to 2, but he did get the spin off. It doesn't look like it's going to be enough to keep him alive. Yes, it is. Never mind. The turnaround Omni Flash finds themselves a quick and easy blow up.
What?
They lose their life. Oh my God, that spin getting off.
Okay, well, that was so funny. Juggernaut actually killed the Storm Spirit, but then he jumped out of the Omni Slash on top of like a random remnant that Bryle had placed earlier. So did end up killing the Juggernaut. Unfortunately, some deaths, right? Storm went down. That's huge for Radiant. But Jug did go down, and Luna is still farming. He finally takes the tier 2 top. He's got his... Let's see, what's he got? Hood, mana boots.
Oh, LOA. He's dead, so super dead. LS Pro Day. Oh, this is his first game in pro matches. 11 different heroes so far. So,
ooh, SVG?
No, for Leslau. This is the first time I've seen his pro brood.
Yeah, I've seen him. I watch him stream a decent amount. He picks his hero occasionally.
Yeah.
It's quickly becoming an offlane hero that you need to know if you're an offlane player, and it's much easier. It's less micro intensive than it has been in the past. The laning phase, which is, I would say, the hardest part of the previous brood, is now just pop insatiable hunger and right click people. So it's much more generous for new learners.
Okay, good to hear.
Hey, you should try it out.
No, man, I'm good.
You're an offline player.
I'm mega good.
all you gotta do is play one game, right? Go some Orb of Corrosion power treads build, and just right click the carry, watch him cry. Take the tier 2 by yourself at 9 minutes, and you'll be a brood player for life.
All right, I'll try it. I'll give it a shot.
There you go.
I'm not gonna try. Sorry.
Yeah, you're just gonna go for 30 games of Darkseer.
Exactly, 30 more. Why not?
Yeah.
But I mean,
you don't first pick it, do you?
Oh no, second phase. If Oracle's
Okay.
banned and I'm losing gold, then I'll take it. But it's
All right, fair enough.
it's the way of it. Look at this wraparound here. They want to get involved again. Dubu again there to break the smoke. Brile walking up a hill. They spot him. Ooh, smoke breaks. And they will be able to get out of dodge. Arrow not quite on the mark. They're going to send in the spiders onto the tower. And Saberlight does have blink. No black hole, though, for another 50 seconds.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's hoping to do here. He's just sort of a blink stun. But they're defending their mid tower. Need somebody to deal with these spiders, though.
Oh.
The top half of the map is now Radiant's. Middle to bottom is now Dire's. Luke's farming. He's going Manta first, which is, I suppose, in preparation for an Orchid, which is not coming from Storm.
Oh. Bench.
Our score is now even, 2-2.
Okay.
Oh no,
Yeah.
sorry. There's a tier 2 tower missing top, and that means Dire's actually still has their outpost somehow, which is a bit surprising.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. They have really good vision here.
I don't want to get into outpost. As I feel like that's a position 5, I just get angry over the smallest things. It's taking the outpost. It's like carry players microing the couriers. It's just all these little things. They just trigger me so much.
As a coach now, sure as well. It's you got to keep an eye on it.
Oh, trust me, I am on it. Better take the outpost, or you're going to hear from me.
Well, so far, Undying have still been able to manage a 1,000 gold lead in spite of being down some of these towers.
Yeah,
it's a fun map.
Luna has not stopped farming, and this hero, it farms fast. So, and this hero is kind of one of those, like, gets mega 6-slotted and then just sort of 1v5s. So I do think that even if there isn't a lot of action happening on the map, I don't think Dire's really that unhappy. Radiant also does lack sort of that BKB black hole cancel when Saberlight does get there. And he is going it next item, so it will not be... It'll be a bit since he's not really farming that much, but it won't be too long.
Right. Zip in there again, trying to deal with some of these spiders, and you can see Saberlight just ready to jump at a moment's notice. There's still a lot of heroes around here, and Moon gets the vision. MSS caught right at the start. Already dust used, misses on the spear. Saberlight, this is a big black hole. He connects onto it. Doesn't get you war though. Might be enough. Actually walks in with the spin afterwards. Quinn turned around upon. They will get the kill onto Moon, but they got to get the hell out of here. War is trying to chase. Good bushwhack.
Storm is too strong. Storm's too strong.
Yeah, Leslau trying to escape. Not going to happen for the moment, although the Malefice out.
Big stun.
Get the kill.
And they roche.
Stop jungling.
No.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, huge fight for Dire, and as I see these team fights going, I feel like they're gonna win this game. Like, I just feel like Radiant's lineup is just not good. Like, why does it look so unlike any of the other drafts that we've seen from Quincy Crew this tournament?
Yeah.
New hero Broodmother, new hero Mars, new hero Hoodwink. I mean, we've seen a couple of, maybe 1 or 2 bottom games from MSS, but even this hero is just a little bit of a newcomer for them.
Yeah, it feels like that Enigma really sort of threw them for a loop, because like you can imagine if you take this Broodmother out and you instead put Lelis on the Mars, and then it's like, a Void Spirit or a Puck or anything else. This looks like a normal Quincy Crew draft, but it felt like when they saw that Enigma, they felt like they had to change the game plan or something. Maybe, I don't know. It like you said though, it does definitely look different.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's mostly the mid lane and the off lane. I mean, Jug is farmed, but can he fight? Right? Not if he gets black hold. So no answer for that on supports.
Quinn, does he know? Does he have an idea? Oh, he could have dropped the arena, but doesn't end up going for it. Waiting for that hood link to get into position first.
Yep, nice plays from Dire there, wasting a lot of Radiant's time. Dire trying to dodge right now. They've got no black hole. They're getting closer and closer to the BKB. Storm and Luna are still farming at a great pace, so Dire just very content to split the map and wait for their next timing, which will be black hole coming back up. And as long as Radiant doesn't roche, they can do just about anything on the map, and Dire's just going to dodge them, I think.
All right. That's probably going to be the route of it, and they don't have like that easy Roshine hero right now because they don't have a medallion or like a solar crest or anything done yet. Opting instead to go for this pipe build on the Broodmother that we've seen, so I don't know. It's dubious. It's going to be an interesting little bit to watch here. as Moon keeps on playing inside their jungle, and Quincy crew just kind of feel lost. There's nobody really making that many moves. Maybe this up here top is a play, but like, how do you start a fight even for them? Weird.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like what their timings are, and Mars did just get his blink dagger, so that's probably going to be their timing. They're going to start looking to get active now.
Okay. Being chased by Dubu always feels bad when these creeps are bullying you.
He's got blink Yules, so if he can get into like a smoke, they could even kill like Storm top, and maybe that leads into Roshan or something for them.
Okay.
And with Roshan, maybe they would feel comfortable sieging high ground or taking away Dire's ancients. Some sort of big objective like that, but it looks like they're gonna try and get a fight here. Dubu is just, you know, doing his thing.
Oh, jumps in. That's the spear out. Dead hero.
Yes.
Moon not able to interrupt. And again, this would maybe be the time when you could try and force something else. Like, it's so weird, right? That top tier 2 tower is already taken. Like, I guess you can get the outpost.
No, you're right though, because they don't have that medallion or solar crest. Roshan does feel like a little slow.
Yeah,
I think so. Normally, I think that, ideally that is on a bigger hill. They're gonna find Hoodwink.
Yeah, a quick and easy blow up there. Quinn looking for a turnaround. They have Black Hole ready, so they can't really take this fight that easily. 4,000 gold lead.
Are you a believer in Hoodwink?
No, not really. It just seems kind of garbo. Oh, wait.
Found the storm, and there's an arrow.
Nice catch there, but the turnaround Black Hole is in time. And MSS gonna drop a small kill for that one, as they do get vision now, trying to take down Quinn. Spin on top of all of them. Yule Scepter to live for the moment. Drops down Healing Ward in the blink away. Manta's out, and that stops it from anymore. But a Black Hole for the Mirana does give them a little bit of an opening here. Yeah,
we all saw it. It wasn't pretty, but it got the job done. You know, wanted to save his storm, gave it his best effort. Black Hole is down though, so that could be some. Oh, Dubu's gonna die, but could be a timing for Radiant to possibly force Roche. Their damage is a little low, right, without the medallion.
Yeah.
But there's not really a better place for them to go. I mean, they still, they're not taking this outpost top, which I feel like is a huge mistake. It's an advantage you have over your opponent that they don't have a tier 2. But this is good Roche control for Dire.
This is scary still, though. Moon walks in. There's a sentry there. Yule Scepter to start. The jump in. BKB from Tomato.
Oh, Luna's here.
Flips his Quinn. Blows him to pieces. Leslau tries to back out. Already has the pipe trying to get inside that Roche pit. But Leslau will get out. Oh, arrow. Do they have enough? Omni slash out. Bryle done. They get the kill on the storm, and now looking for more. Moon Meander gonna fall. That arrow just coming out of nowhere and catching on the storm.
Yeah, they really wanted that brood, but the chase with the healing ward in the back and Jug still having everything in his kit. They overextended. That's going to be Roshan for Radiant. Jug is looking strong. They used everything on the Mars there. I think just a little bit too much, but you could see like if they had the Black Hole, maybe it wouldn't have mattered. Maybe they would win this fight.
I mean, the thing is it's still like Roche is not happening that quickly. They have the midnight pulse down. Storm's about to be back up again. They got to be really careful. I don't know if they can get this.
No, I don't think so. Healing Ward is up in 10 seconds, so they're gonna try and fight instead.
Okay, moving in, finds that arena down, but the impale coming out from Moon Meander. They're still caught. The bushwhack with the spin down from Yawar. Are the rest of them coming in time? Moon is going to fall. Storm TPing in now, and the jump tries to catch one. Not going to be able to blow up Yawar yet. The pullback, the right clicks, but the healing ward standing right on top of him. Not enough to alive Yawar. Leslau trying to blow up again. The arrow coming from MSS, and Tomato ends up dying as well. Dude, what a great fight from Quincy crew, as they're taking it just perfectly. Pullback now onto Dubu, gets the finish. 4 dead. Unreal.
Yeah, Dire's looking a little lost in these fights. This Mars arena comes down. They're all just kind of in the pits. What do? They just die. They need this Black Hole. They need this BKB on Enigma so that they can feel confident to take these fights and not just get ran over by Quincy crew. So really good on Quincy crew just to force the issue, recognizing that they don't have the damage to just force Roche, right? They go on their opponents instead before the storm is up. And even though Storm ports in, 2 of their heroes are already dead before Storm gets there.
Right. Yeah, I think that's, you know, a time when I think a lot of other teams would have just backed out and said like, all right, we can't do it. But instead, Quincy Crew, like you're saying, recognizing that there's this window they can fight before Storm gets there. And really, really impressive showing. Even though they end up losing, like, you know, Quinn at the start of one fight and Iwar in the middle of the other one. Great sequence of events for them here. As now, Moon keeps on scouting, looking for an opening here. Dubu's just going to keep the pressure on, has his creep as well. Still a slight gold lead for Undying. Do you think that Aegis on Quincy Crew changes anything for the game plan going forward?
I don't think it means that much, and I still feel like Dire will be very strong when their black hole is up. It'll just give them like a little bit more confidence in the fight. That being said, it is on Mars, so maybe he's just going to be a little bit more bold with his initiations, but he might just be a free kill when he respawns unless he's got BKB ready. Game plan is still the same for Dire, though. I think the Roshan was kind of a bait, right? They could have just given up Rosh and just kept farming their BKB on Enigma, which he would have definitely been able to farm it if he just focused on that when his black hole was down. But yeah, they're still in a fine spot, and I feel like they're still confident to take the right fight.
Okay.
If a good fight appears for them, they will take it. Radiant could force high ground here. They're going to try and get Bryle. He has BKB.
Oh, the arena. Oh my god, Spear first. They get him. Arrow afterwards, but BKB comes out, and now the turnaround. Quinn in some trouble. Quinn is going to fall. That's Aegis down. Can they do anything else afterwards? Saberlight, he has this black hole ready. Everybody separated a little bit. Black hole going to connect there onto 2 with the BKB afterwards. They come out with the bushwhack afterwards. And they will use Quinn. Gonna also get Leslau. And LOA gonna drop to boots.
Huge. I mean, a very bold play from Radiant, but not really having, I mean, they recognized the Storm at the BKB. He knew he couldn't ult into Arena, so he just went for the stun, but the arrow was, he didn't have the right angle with the creeps respawning, so he wasn't able to get a, you know, a nice chain stun on it. So it was a great spear from Quinn, but there was no follow-up, and then once Storm gets that BKB off, turns that fight, even though Mars is Aegis, he's in, you know, he's in Dire's base, and they all just mass poured in, and really nice black hole from Saberlight. I don't think Laylas expected that, and as a result, you know, he was just trying to get Mars, but he ended up getting a Brood as well, and Juggernaut was, he wasn't even close to Radiant when they were, you know, on the enemy tier 3, so a little bit of a miscommunication, trying to force the issue a little too much there from Quincy Crew.
Now they do have a second round of this though. BKB out, able to interrupt. Finn is there, no arrow connecting, hits onto creeps instead. Quinn does get his stick charges off to live a little bit longer, and that will be enough to stay alive. I mean, I like the idea of going without the black hole, but I mean, I guess you're getting BKB charges going down. I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's huge though. Undying is still doing quite well.
They got the BKB on Storm, and I think it's fair for Radiant to want to force things while Black Hole is down. I think that's sort of the story of this game, is like, what can Quincy Crew get done now when Black Hole is down, right? Will they be able to get anything done? I'm not sure. They may be able to take this outpost, you know? They did get this tier 2 tower at like 12 minutes. Maybe they'll take the outpost.
There you go.
Here they go.
Got it. Nailed it.
But now Dire's got theirs. So we're back even on the experience here.
True. Yeah, it's a weird one right now. Where again, like, there's been so much motion around this top side, but we haven't seen this play that we're now finally seeing from Lelis, which is pressuring this top tier 3. So he'll pipe up these spiders here and get a ton of damage into it. And I feel like I'd like to see more of this from him to, like, you know, keep the Undying team stuck in their base a little bit.
Yeah, it's definitely nice to force some of Undying's heroes here. That's going to give them a, you know, more free opportunity to make plays on mid lane when they know, you know, Dire isn't 5 together.
Absolutely. They'll back away. Ceremonial robe as well.
Yeah, both teams are looking for something right now. Black Hole comes up in 5 seconds, so Undying is ready to go, but they need to find the right hero.
Moonlight Shadow.
Dubu doesn't have any wards on him, so they're really just sort of... it's kind of hard to smoke at night without a ward, but they find MSS up top.
Nice
pick with the Storm.
Dubu spots a spider nearby, gets the break there onto her. Moon again scouting things out with an Aeon Disc. This is pretty nice for him.
Yeah.
And the jump up to the high ground. Eul's Scepter afterwards has BKB if he wants to pop it. Holds off though. Now the retreat. Quincy Crew, good play there just to keep a hold. hold of that BKB and not use it too early in this fight.
Yeah, this Kai Assange build on Storm is really nice. I think you get, great mana regen, right, more magic damage, and then you also get this stun reduction, which is so nice on Storm, right? Getting out of stun a second earlier could mean life or death for a Storm Spirit. So,
and this pop, Glimmer Cape trying to keep alive Quinn. Bushwhack not going to do anything. Tomato pops his BKB, turns the fight. Hellaway caught, and there's the black hole. Only needs to get one, and he gets them.
This game is lights, man. Radiant has nothing. They have nothing to deal with this Enigma black hole, and yeah, I'm not really sure what their plan was. This Broodmother pick just did not work out at all, and CC&C on the Mars mid is just kind of fell flat on its face.
Tough stuff indeed, and don't have answers. Quincy crew. I mean, again, they lost season 1 to Undying, feeling a little bit too confident. And this time around, it feels like whether it's confidence or whether it's just they got a little bit, juked out in the draft. Whatever it was, they're looking really good on Undying right now in this game number 2.
Yeah, and if we get this game 3, which I'm expecting we will, it's going to be so much pressure on Quincy crew to perform. Otherwise, EG is going to be mad at them. Or no, maybe EG wants them to lose, so they have a chance to get first again.
Oh,
right?
Okay, I see. There you go. I was thinking that they just, they want to play through groups or whatever.
I mean, that's what happened last. Oh yeah, right. I think there was a quote, right, where I think Crit said like he would rather play through groups so they get the warm up or something. I feel like that's kind of a joke.
A little bit, maybe.
Yeah, a little tongue in cheek.
Moon again getting gone on by some of these spiders here. They popped the BKB, going for it. I don't know if this is going to work. They'll get the kill on the Nyx most likely, but Quinn is going to drop afterwards. Now the turn, looking for anything at all here.
No damage.
Down, going to be able to find one kill, but I mean with no Omni Slash left and basically no damage. The chase forward, looking for more. They have that BKB, Malefice afterwards. Nothing else. So they get a buyback out of Moon. Oh, arrow. Just gonna let Saberlight go there. Zip. Isle finds one, and they'll get that finish as well.
Storm has so much mana. He is so it is such a nice Storm game, and he was able to itemize in like a greedy fashion and just farm this game. I'm over here. He can force these initiations and not have to worry about dying because he has the second item BKB. Really just setting up all of these follow-up Nyx stuns. Follow-up Luna damage. He's baiting Quincy Crew's heroes to get together for this black hole. Yeah, really great game for Kyle.
Oh my god, all the spiders get caught again. You're gonna pipe it, try and run. Oh, they got him. Let's out. A little bit of trouble. Does have a way out of there for the moment. Silence, follow-up. The soul burn isn't enough. Oh, the Glimmer Cape comes alive at the last second to keep him alive. Moon, though, turns now, wants to find the finish. Spear goes out. Connects for the kill onto Dubu. And now the turn.
Dyer's getting stretched a little bit right now.
They have Black Hole still. Blink up in a second. Can they break the blink? They're doing it with the spiders. Saberlight dropping down low. Leslau, gotta be careful. They have the Impale connects onto nobody, but they will kill Leslau in the end.
Hey, but Quinn is... Okay, there's a haste.
Oh, arrow. Connect on
nice.
the Saberlight. Can they blow him up in time? Yes, they will. Out Tomato still has his BKB held on to.
They've got no detection, so this Glimmer Cape from Hoodwink is owning right now.
Damn. Glimmer's been clutch.
Yes, sometimes if I'm playing 5, because I have a Potom on my team, I wouldn't go Glimmer, right? Because you kind of double up on the invis, but it's putting in a lot of work this game.
Well, it just feels like these fights are so hard for Quincy crew that even when things are kind of going okay, it's take some crazy thing like an arrow out of nowhere, or you know, the no detection being there for Undying to be at least even falling a little bit behind in the fights.
Yeah, they're definitely in a tough spot, and I think the thing is they can't really 5-man against Dire because Dire's 5-man is stronger when Block goes up.
Big slash keeps on him, chases Quinn. They blow up one, but Tomato looking for more. They buy back on 2, and the rest of Quincy crew trying to escape. Can they get out of here? It's dangerous. The big jump. Eul Scepter afterwards. They didn't have the BKB wear off on Quinn to get the pull. And now with the blink out, I mean, this is huge.
They need more.
Can they escape? Spear goes. There is the Midnight Pulse and the kill onto Quinn.
All right,
And-
they got Roche. Or sorry, they got the kill on Mars. Now they're gonna go get Roche, right? Which will be second Roche, Aegis Shard, most likely for Luna. Right, that'll be a nice boost for her, and then they'll have Scotty on Luna, and I guess she's sort of having some slot issues, but they're gonna look to push high ground, I would think, and they still have Black Hole, so. What I was trying to say earlier is like Radiant needs to kind of force Dire to separate, but the issue is they're trying to play split push against Nyx Assassin Storm Spirit, and that's pretty damn hard, I think, to be out on the map by yourself. So they're kind of in a tough spot where they need to kind of 5-man and fight, but they're still playing around Black Hole to some extent. So yeah, Aegis Shard for Luna, Cheese for Storm, and I'm expecting a high ground push here pretty soon from Dire, depending on how slow they want to take it.
Okay.
They may look for their one pick, right? Play the map for a bit. They may also look to just go down a lane with the Luna.
I mean, it does feel like it's kind of free. Whatever they want to do, they'll do. As LOA gonna get caught. LOA
Oh my gosh. Nyx almost
open.
And Nyx almost can solo that guy.
Yeah.
Got so much mana with the Aether Lens and the Ceremonial Robe. That mana burn is doing tons of work.
And right now, Yawar just needs to get this MKB done to actually have some damage. This Butterfly and Tomato, really difficult to deal with. Another arrow comes out and the spear to try and slow down this push, but I mean, you can see like Lesla's on the other side of the map. They know they can't fight this right now. It's too difficult.
Yep, second Roshan timing is really hard to deal with when a carry is this farmed. How do you kill this guy twice? He's got almost 30,000 gold.
This feels like an impossibility.
Yeah, well, they can try and force somebody back, but you can see how scared Brood is that he doesn't even want to show in the lane.
Right. Well, that is going to be the first one down, and looking for more afterwards?
I would think so. I don't think there's any reason for them to stop. Radiant needs to find Enigma, and they need to kill him first, I think, if they want to win a fight.
Brood has enough for the Hex. Yules comes out, tried to bait the BKB, not going to happen. They get the bushwhack afterwards. Arena down. Tomato, oh, they didn't find the real one. Oh, and Quinn gonna get caught. Quinn gonna get killed. Black Hole finds Yawar afterwards. They're gonna blow him up. Has buyback with no Quinn. How can you take this fight? They still have Aegis on Tomato, barely touched.
Yeah, you can see why they picked this Enigma versus the Juggernaut. Even though Jug had a great time laning phase, mid to late game, what does he do if he gets Black Hole?
Not a damn thing.
He dies. Pretty much.
Now they jump again. They find Leslau, has the Hex, but not going to be able to use it as 3 people get bushwhacked, but there is absolutely no follow-up at all. And Quincy crew going to likely lose this game, force it to a game number 3. Again, they need to win this if they want to come in first to the major. Don't want to have to go through those tiebreakers again. And in this game number 2, they lose it. GG called.
Nice. Game 3, what everybody wanted.
Yeah. Good stuff from Undying. I mean, and like you said, just a great presence of mind to take that that Enigma, 4th position. Really solid stuff there.
I think their draft looked a lot better. I think it all starts with them getting this Enchantress, right? First off, a hero that's going to dominate his lane. You saw what a good job Dubu and Tomato did in their safe lane, right? Compare that to the previous game where they did like that unsuccessful tri-lane with Abaddon and Terrorblade. Just a complete difference with them having first picked in this game. It's going to be whoever wins this coin toss in the 3rd game, who's going to most likely going to choose first pick.
because paired with each other, and if these small sample size that now is just like, oh, that was just the first game, the Quincy Crew is going to stomp this one, or that was the second game, or maybe Undying's the way better team. Like, how the hell do we know?
Yeah, and that also applies to some of these heroes, because I feel like one hero that, you know, the casters we're talking about, PPD, were like, you know, Hoodwink's not looking too good. Perhaps this hero was overrated because of the success in some of those earlier
against
songs.
noobs.
Yeah. But, here we are. Game 3, first pick going the way of Quincy Crew, which seems fairly important. Every team so far has prioritized choosing first pick. Quincy game 1, Undying game 2, and Quincy here, the ones who have that option to have first pick.
10 seconds.
Yeah, I believe if memory serves, the other two bans they had in game 1 in the same scenario were Enchantress and Nyx. So see if they stand pat, or if they're going to switch things up. I mean, not having to play against Enchantress feels pretty good, but no, we're going to see a little bit different here.
Well, they're going to
just take it yourself.
Yeah, they're going to roll the dice. Quincy, well, game 1 it was Undying who banned it. I guess even though they're so good with it, they just maybe assume Quincy's going to first pick it. Was that the idea? Do you think, Jenkins?
You know, maybe. I think there's also just an element of sometimes you just let things through the draft because you don't have enough ban slots, and you think, okay, well, we'll let this go through and just see if we can, you know, counter this out, even though it's a signature hero. Maybe their take on the game was that the Enchantress really wasn't that big of a deal, or maybe they just pick it. Maybe they just literally snap pick the Enchantress. Okay.
Fast.
Well, two heroes Undying couldn't get their hands on in game 1. Got both of them in game 2 with the Enchantress. This time they won't get the Enchantress, but I mean, I feel like these are heroes at least who both offer a lot of magic damage when it comes to maybe dealing with an Enchantress.
Yeah, I think you don't really care that much if you're either of these two heroes against an Ench, especially because with the Nyx you now have that like increased attack speed out of the ult. So the Ench passive is no longer a pain in the ass. It's funny because like that change got added to Nyx, and it's like, okay, that is literally just Nyx versus Enchantress, and then they remove the break, and so you don't even break the Enchantress with the passive. It's pretty weird, but it's really good. And Quincy Crew, now they have this 8th pick. This is like the coveted position that everybody likes to be in, because you can pick something and then block everything that you want in this huge 3-ban phase that we have coming. So, you know, Timber Saws, that's the sort of hero. Medusa, which is banned out simply because of this 8th pick. These are the sorts of heroes that you can get. Bristleback would be really good too in this position. I think just ban out the counters. Viper's out already. Get the AA out as well.
I like that. Yeah, I feel like we haven't seen enough Bristle based on how powerful he is in pubs, at least at all levels right now.
So I totally agree.
But I like that Undying took this Luna. It feels like Tomato, no matter if they win or lose, he always gets ridiculous farm on this hero. It's like the fastest farm range carry in the game right now. And we're going to Mars. I mean, this will be almost certainly off lane this time around.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think they're going to risk that second game happening again. I mean, the thing is, like, they've given Lelis first round Mars so many times in the past. It's like not even a risky to first round this. It looks weird because we're thinking like, oh, they can't put Quinn on it now, but it's like they've done this forever. You know, Lelis has always been in this first round pick. So with Ench too, it's like it's set up. Like you can actually roam these two heroes together. If you take the Ench and the Mars and you put them towards that mid tower at like 6 minutes in, there's no way you can fight against both of these heroes paired up together.
By the way, what happened to Mars Phoenix? I feel like that was all the rage of the majors. Phoenix is like a forgotten dead hero now. Do you guys think?
Been replaced by Warlock with that shard.
5 seconds.
I think it's underrated. I think Phoenix is still incredibly good. It's like there's no other hero that wins team fights like Phoenix, but also Centaur being so popular definitely hurts Phoenix a lot because you just press ult and then run away from the egg. Like there's a lot of disengage heroes being picked because the Warlock was like first round for a while. So all the disengage just owns Phoenix as well. Presumably also my Warlock has fallen off.
Well, with Undying going back for the Luna for 2 games in a row, any heroes that stand out to you, Sunshine, as far as what you want to be playing when you're against the Luna?
Yeah, from a carry perspective, I don't know. It feels like Medusa is like the top range carry right now, and then Luna is just number 2, pretty clearly, based on what we've seen so far. I actually don't even know what's good against it. We talked about Juggernaut. It wasn't that bad. It felt like they just didn't have a mid hero that game, right? So Juggernaut I still think is okay. Probably not the best, though.
I think
Terribly, maybe you can create illusions of him, kind of.
I think like a Faceless Void would be the only other carry that I can think of that would be like on the same level as this like OP Luna hero. But the problem with Void is like if you're picking it has to be a Void draft right now. It seems like you really want to get the most value out of it. Other than that, I think this Diffusal Blade Ursa thing that people are doing would do incredibly well versus versus the Medusa, but also versus the Luna, because you have this timing way earlier than 20 minutes, and instead of just trying to like outfarm the Luna, which isn't going to happen, just run at the Luna, and he can manta. You just diffuse the right one, or jump on him after he mantas off the diffusal, and you kill him from full HP, and then you just press ult when he ults. So I would like to see that being picked up more in this region. Every other region's picking it.
10 seconds.
And from the other support side for Quincy Crew, I still think, I feel like the heroes dropped off for some reason, but I feel like the Warlock Mars combo is still pretty crazy. And you still need that position 5. You get tons of heals. AA's been banned by your opponents. You don't have to worry about that being counter necessarily.
It does feel
is it just like the long ass cooldown that like you just feel victim, that you just everything is revolves around this Warlock ult, or like what's the reason we've been seeing the hero drop off a bit?
I think it's the disengage that's getting picked. Like Oracle's really strong, Centaur's really strong. People are picking like Winter Wyvern and just like pressing R when the Warlock ults and running away. Everybody's like playing better around these like crazy team fight heroes and picking better around them.
It feels like here you'd find yourself in a spot like Warlock Enchantress. Like Enches of 4 is fine, but when you have Warlock End, suddenly you have no stuns between your two supports.
Yeah, that's a little sus. That's
Yeah.
That's one of those things where like if it works, it's like, we knew it, boys. But if it doesn't work, it's like, yeah, that was the Warlock End. Not picking those heroes again.
Yeah, I feel like going back to game 1, both teams not having many stuns, particularly Undying, like they really suffered. Like they learned quickly from game 1, pick stuns. I mean, it's hilarious how often we say that on any drafting panelists. Like, come on, guys, pick some stuns.
Yeah, basic principles. Sometimes you have to go back to the fundamentals, and I think that's actually something we've heard a lot from the players in the interviews this season, which is cool to hear it, because I do think at a high level that's what Dota's about, is like get so baited into talking about all the crazy stuff and the synergies and the next level stuff, and like, yep, stuns win Dota, guys. That's it. It's like it's always so simple. Speaking of stuns,
wow, you know, Shadow Demon for Undying would be so good. It's a setup for the Lesh stun. It's a save for Mars ult. If you're on the outside, it creates illusions of Luna that gets you a shit ton of farm. But then you have, I don't know how Nick's Shadow Demon work as a combo for supports.
I feel like this is the freest Clockwork game ever. All of these heroes do not want to get hooked and cogged. You will just murder all of them with Battery Assault. And uncontrolled from the Luna ult and the Flesh to Bleed Mail. Clock like not the best 4 hero by any means, but in this game, I mean, you're kind of asking for it.
And it worked so well in game 1. I mean, it had the kind of synergy with the AA who could Ice Blast follow up, but it did look really good against Leshrac there. Instead, they're going to go for an ET. So SVG, a classic high position for him.
Interesting.
I mean, it's good against Luna. It has great late game potential, just even if you have no farm. I like it. I mean, is the shard the teleport thing, or is the Ags is the BKB thing?
Yeah, the shard
is the teleport thing.
Yeah, exactly. That's a bit of a meme.
Because the Ags would be good this game, but that you're not getting that on a position 5.
Yeah, I think there would be a lot of fans that would be a little salty if Quincy Crew picked this ET, and then all of a sudden it's like Lelith playing it at the very last against Undying, when like they're slated to get free invite to TI. Basically, I think there'd be a lot of salty people. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
A lot of pressure on Quincy. That's kind of where they found themselves last season. I imagine some of that inexperience. I mean, these players have been around a while, but it does feel like it's a team that often doesn't quite perform up to expectations when it like really has counted on the big matches on LAN, for example.
5 seconds.
Crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
This lineup just like way better for Undying.
This is a really good lineup, dude. They have a little bit of everything. They have farmers, they have stunners, tower damage, a hero that's going to take safe farm, a hero that's going to take aggressive farm. They have a save hero. They've got good lanes, a bunch of ranged heroes, some disruptive guy on the Nyx who's scouting. Like they legitimately have everything. This is a god tier draft from them.
Yeah.
And on Quincy Crew, I mean, it looks fine. It looks fine, but it doesn't seem like there's any like crazy synergy between these heroes.
Ooh,
Okay.
out.
Blade Mail hero.
It's really good.
Potentially get that against Lesh.
Yeah.
But Oracle has the save. That's kind of the fall. back for Lesh.
But
right now.
you do have the like Oracle or this Spectre hero like kills Oracle in the back line though. It's really hard to play Spectre versus Oracle or Oracle versus Spectre, I should say. You just jump him and he gets very sad and has to ult himself, and then you just kill his team.
That felt like something they needed as a way to stop this Oracle save, because otherwise a Lash or Luna in the front line of an Oracle save just kind of felt unstoppable. It does seem like a good pick, but do we see the Spectre? It's pretty greedy. Is it going to have a lane? Is it going to get like heroes on the Undying side feel like they're heroes that can cause a lot of problems in the lane?
They have a pick out of this phase too. If the Necro wasn't banned, I'd say there's like a god tier Necro game. Would be a great Timber game as well. Like ET, that's not a very strong lane. That is super abusable. Then would have been good. That would have been really good. Viper would be good, but it's banned. So they've dealt with a lot of the BS that could deal with this spec plus ET for sure.
I mean, potential for even
any offlaner with who even has Break anymore? Hoodwink, Viper's already banned. Like Break against Spectre's pretty damn good.
I don't know if you try to break versus Spectre.
We saw a game earlier where Luna picks up a Silver Edge as like a third item. I think it might have been Envy actually that did that.
I think Lesh Luna just in general will do fine against Spec, and then if you do have to pick up the Silver Edge, it's not like garbage tier on Luna. At least she can farm it. Like she gets the gold for sure. I mean, there's a lot. Like you could Tide. Tide would do really well against these heroes. They just don't do anything to him in lane, and the team fight would be incredibly disruptive for like the Spec haunt. You're never gonna hit him with the Mars Arena. Like it's not gonna matter if you hit him with the Mars Arena.
Any chance we see Leshrac in the offlane, do you think, or is it pretty certainly a mid?
I suppose it depends on what the last pick from Quincy is, but I do feel like this safe lane is so punishable that you probably want to last pick. You probably want to last pick the offlaner just because of that fact alone. It's like if you deny the Spectre a game, I don't see how Quincy wins, barring of course this last pick here.
10 seconds.
Are we going to see a Brood last pick with mid Mars again?
Oh no!
They have even better heroes against the Brood this time around. Not a ton of lockdown or easy lockdown, but
okay. Void Spirit.
A Quinn class.
A more normal-ish draft, I guess.
I think you're fine running this mid Lash versus Void Spirit. I think that's a perfectly 50-50 fine matchup. So this is just the counter to the Spec plus ET lane.
10 seconds.
Well, Undying don't
most
have much
likely
time.
Most likely the offlaner here, unless they do some shenanigans with Lesh.
Some range.
Like a lot has been banned though.
I mean, I guess you could like Underlord if you want to go real boring. Good lord, that would do fine in lane.
Yeah, it's good against Void Spirit with the root.
Enigma's still in the pool. They want to go for round 2.
Death Prophet.
They go Death Prophet. Ooh, Lesh and Death Prophet, 2 heroes that take towers, take Roshan, take objectives in no time at all, just through their spells. So if Undying get ahead, it does feel like they can snowball this one.
You need to be like a shark.
They do lack the like initiator do shit hero though. They don't really have like a Mars Centaur type hero. But I still really like the lane DP versus the Death Prophet. I'm actually gonna say I think Undying's gonna win this one. I really like their draft. I think it has everything, a little bit of everything.
Do you agree,
I like Undying's drafts more, but no, I'm gonna go Quincy Crew. I cannot picture this happening twice in a row, guys. Two seasons in a row. There's no way. Impossible.
I'm going to lean Quincy. We've got Quinn on a more classic Quinn hero, but it does feel like Undying have a lot of firepower and a very good chance to take this game. We're going to find out. It could be the last game of the upper division of NA DPC Season 2, or we could be headed to tiebreakers. To find out, we go to our casting duo, Lyrical and PPD, as well as Pop-Tart Observing. We'll see you there.
Welcome back again, Dota fans. We are here ready for game number 3. It all comes down to Peter. Are we going to have the repeat? Do you think Undying got the draft that they needed to take this one over Quincy Crew?
I liked everything. I'm not sure about the Death Prophet last pick with the first item Bracer, but once again, like, we'll see. It's them taking Saberlight's hero last pick, very similar to game 1 where they picked the Doom. That I definitely think was not the answer. I think Death Prophet will do a better job at speeding up the game. I think Spectre is not really the best hero this patch at the moment, so if they can play fast and punish this spec early, I think there's definitely a chance Undying takes his game 3.
Yeah, I will say that I like the pickup of Quinn playing on this Void Spirit. This is stompy onto everybody. A 4-man start to open it as Moon is gonna go down first. They're trying to give the last hit away to somebody else, but it's gonna be MSS that takes it.
Oh
wow,
my goodness.
You need to be like a shark.
Came to the wrong neighborhood.
What were they thinking? Just going up a high ground, just in a 5, like a big ball like that? I guess they're probably not expecting this Elder Titan to have Echo Stomp. However, I'm not even sure if that was the right choice. I feel like if he took Astral Spirit, he would have just destroyed everyone.
Yeah, it's a good point. And does it make his laning stage any worse?
It depends if he's laning against Oracle or not, right? Like, Oracle is seen as a direct counter to Elder Titan in laning phase because you can dispel the Astral Spirit.
Right.
But they might not even be up against each other, which actually they are going to be. They're doing the Nyx in the safe lane here with the Luna, and then they're doing the Oracle DP bottom versus Elder Titan. I'm not sure how much pressure this is going to put on Spec, and I think that maybe could have been a better spot for their last pick. Like the panel had mentioned Underlord as an option. I think that would have been a really good direction to go. But we'll see how the Death Prophet does in lane. I think Undying needs to win this bottom lane.
Yeah, I mean, does it need to be like a hard win at all, or like?
No, I think they just want to force the Spectre off the lane when Death Prophet's level 6 and has ult, so they can push the tower. I think that would be a win there.
All right, that's going to be something that I think is going to be really interesting to watch. Like, I look at all of these core heroes out of Undying, and I think the panel talked about it briefly. Like, you have the DP great pushing towers, Leshrac great pushing towers, Luna great pushing towers. If we're looking at this game at like, I don't know, 20 minutes or something, and there's no towers taken or only a couple of them, it's going to be a little bit weird.
Yep, exactly. It's going to be sort of the opposite of that second game where the speed of the game was sped up so much by Undying previously. They need to do the same thing here, I think.
Did see LOA managing to find a 2-person or a stomp onto Saberlight and then a couple more punches afterwards. So
yeah, he's making
that ability.
He's making it work. It's not ideal, but Oracle is like, it is the counter to Elder Titan in lane, but then it's like, it better be a good Oracle game if you're going to pick it up.
Right.
Which I do think it is a pretty good Oracle game. I think the hero's quite nice against Mars. Void Spirit will be looking to jump Dubu all game, so we'll have to see how he manages that aggression.
And of course, they're going to have that vision coming in from the Spectre as well to scout him out and try and find an angle. At least in mid so far, things looking pretty good for Quinn.
Yep.
8-3. He's played this matchup more than a few times.
Definitely. This is a really common matchup. I think it's a bit Lesh favored. And then I also think in the game, the matchup is pretty good for Leshrac as well. But Quinn has, tons and tons of games on this hero. And he's also got a lot of games on Lesh. So he kind of knows, what Bryle's thinking of doing next for sure.
True. Keep an eye on it there as they're going to trade off a little bit of hits there for the Water Rune, which, bottle already there for Quinn. Bryle picking up his as well, and just going to get the refill there. So mid be a trade for farm, but so far all 3 lanes actually looking pretty good for Quincy Crew.
Yeah, there's actually a neat little trick you can do with Oracle in the game versus Elder Titan is when people get the Stomp Sleep, you can just wake them up with your Purifying Flames. I wonder if Duba will look to do that. It's pretty nice, dodging the ult and whatever may be coming after.
Right.
You can basically get everybody out of it if you use both your spells.
See there as well. Quick little kill, another one going into the favor of MSS. So 2 kills already on this Enchantress. He is going to have some nice farm to start this one out.
For sure, and this hero has been just so powerful. You saw the first pick went the way of Quincy Crew, and as a result, they got the Enchantress.
Absolutely. Now bottom there again, finding another stomp, trying to get some damage on. LOA will have the Astral Spirit purged off of him, so that will be fine and dandy there.
I think I think Dire's lanes are going way too bad right now.
Yeah.
Every lane is losing, and the top lane, it looks like it might be over. I'm not sure. Like the problem with this, the Enchantress is she gets a creep with her level 2 enchant, which she's about to get, and brings that to the lane. Makes Luna can't do anything. I don't even think they can stay there, and this lane is just being held at the moment. Moon's going to try and pull it back, but Nyx maybe can be good versus Ench because you can like you can block camps, right? And you've got the innate stout shield from being a melee hero, but Ench will just play the lane, right? And you'll just kill kill Luna, pressure her, or kill the Nyx if he gets out of position.
Yeah, dude, looking really freaking good so far. I do like the mana burn that we're seeing there. MSS gonna give him the tip afterwards is it makes it a little bit annoying for MSS here on this Enchantress for sure.
Yeah, that's what it's all about versus hero, just slowing her down. Like her first 10 minutes are the best, I think. Better than any other hero in the early game. So, and that's because she can take the hard creep early.
Right.
So if you can slow her down just a little bit, she does kind of fall off in like the mid to late game.
Seeing a lot of pressure there towards mid. Quinn might need a bottle refill here pretty soon as they did take away his bounty rune up there on the high ground. Actually, Quinn's going to go check on it. I don't know. Looks like he's not.
They're both just going back to base.
All right. That's fine. That's really weird. I've never seen that before at the exact same time.
Yeah.
Get you later.
So because Dire's losing their lanes, they're really gonna need to wait on like this Death Prophet ultimate to make stuff happen.
Tomato.
He's gonna die.
Oh,
huge stun.
What an impale from Moon.
The thing is, man, he would almost rather die so he could just get out of this lane sooner. The thing is, staying in this lane is just bad news. Like, he's got nothing. He needs to get out of here. He's got 14 CS, and I don't think he's making a comeback.
So,
his top lane's over at 5.5 minutes, and that is very, very bad. Okay, do we just cancel this port mid? They're going to need Bryle to get active, I think. I don't think he can play like that, that hard farming, bots first, last track this game. It's going to be too much pressure from Radiant if they're, if they push the tempo, which I think they will.
Well, MSS is thinking about pushing the tempo here as they're moving in. Have the stomp ready. LOA gonna connect, and the beatdown comes as they get the kill onto Bryle. Dude, Quincy crew know exactly what to do with this lead.
Yeah, and it's what they do is they leave their side lanes alone because basically Luna can't lane versus Mars, and DP can lane versus Spectre, but maybe they don't feel like they can kill they don't care to kill they don't feel like DP can kill Spectre, so they just leave Spectre there alone to get all this solo experience. They go mid, they help Quinn get these power runes, which is going to let him snowball his advantage and actually keep up this lane pressure. I think the only way... Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I think he might be dead again. MSS is chasing it. Never mind. They're going to stop off at the ward there. Instead, it's Tomato that goes down.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
He can't stay here. He needs to go bottom, and he needs to... It's just so early, right? Like, you just can't leave your lane this early. And, yeah, their lanes are just nightmarish.
Unreal. I mean, you get one good game out of it, and then it ends up looking like this, where, again, Quincy crew find the laning setup that they want. And Quinn wins, not an easy matchup in the mid lane. Makes it happen. Really impressive stuff coming out from Quincy crew here.
Yeah. I wish they would have had a better plan for this Ench, because it has just ran them over in this top lane.
See, at least for now, Leslau holding on. The catapult will end up falling there, but still a ton of damage claimed onto this tier 1 tower, and Luna praying for a possessed mask. that's what you gotta get here.
Radiant's gonna bring no, it might die here.
Moon?
This Ench creep.
God,
yeah, he's dead.
Punches. Comes in again, killing spree. Dude, getting that level 1 kill.
Tomato's in trouble in the jungle.
Chasing again, the taunt pulls him back in. Dude, 6-0 start at this early going.
This is the thing. This top lane went so badly. You can't be top. You have to go bottom. And as much as it sucks, like, you have any Death Prophet to go somewhere else, or you guys both just need to push this tower together.
Right.
But Spectre still sitting here is really, really awful for Undying, because they need to get some pressure going on this bottom tower, because their top tower is about to go down.
You can see they're making that move. They're recognizing now what they need to do. It might be a bit too late, though. They're going to pop Exo.
They have a haste rune on Lesh. Could be a way for them to actually win a fight if Radiant chooses to defend, but I think they're happy to trade and wait for Spectre to get this blade mill before they take a 5-on-5.
You can see they are going to even get some pressure onto the mid tower while Exo's being used their bottom. Tomato level 5, like, I don't know. He has to go this like to build now as well, but things just looking really rough as the map is closed out from him. They're even taking away the big creeps from him with the Ench. Feels bad.
Yeah, I really think his place in this game is bottom. What, does he have pointed stats or what? Oh no, he just got a second point. Okay, I was about to say. Didn't have a second point in Glaves. He's going to try and catch this tier 2, the slop trash up here, the slop farm, but he's going to get one wave and then he's got to go somewhere else.
Right. Towards mid, Leslau. They try and go on him and actually going to get some pretty good damage with the sleep out. Saberlight there as well. No more exorcism, but Leslau getting dropped down super low but not dead. And instead it's Death Prophet who falls. Meanwhile, up top, Yawar just makes the rotation on Tomato, forces him out of lane.
Yep. Dire's got no business fighting right now. Their laning phase was too bad. They're too behind in levels and gold to expect to actually win anything right now. They need to wait until after the 10-minute mark when they can pick up some ultimates on their supports and take a proper fight under their vision if they want to get back in this game.
LOA in the meantime just chasing down Dubu a little bit. He might have gone too far, although does have the stomp. Going to be interrupted, and that will be the first kill on the board. Undying get one.
Yeah, it was needed. Well, huge kill for them, giving them a little bit something. The tower's still alive. Game isn't going too fast where they can be counted out just yet.
No luck for Tomato as they get a Fairy's Trinket for the Lesh, but no Possessed Mask, and instead that's on the Quincy Crew side.
Luna is, I would say, known to be like a really good laner, right? Because of the Lunar Blessing and the harass ability of Lucent Beam. But when she loses her lane and has to go like this Moonglave's farming build, Tiro, I feel like is just not good. Like he is just, he can catch up, right, with this build and farm up, but ideally you want your Luna to play the game with you.
Bryle has to run away from these ones too, has to make that space because Luna, like you said, can't play with their team. Tomato just has to sort of hide out there as Quinn is chasing down Dubu in the triangle and finds the taunt, pulls back in, a couple more punches, illusion rune. Bryle gonna be there to keep his support alive, but again, just Quincy Crew doing whatever they want in this game right now.
Yep, 3-1 lanes will do that for you. They want to get this mid tower, but they're being pretty careful about how they go about it. Tomato's getting dived bottom by Quinn. He gets solo killed, and they poured in 2 heroes.
And Leslau just walks away from him on the other side. They can't do anything.
They don't have any initiation outside of this Nyx. That's sort of the issue with this last pick. I mean, they make a conscious decision to put the Lesh mid, and they last pick a new offlaner. But I feel like what they're missing in their draft was kind of that big guy to go in front.
Right. Well, they dropped the arena down now. Moon gonna try and stay alive here. Fate's Edict to keep him up for a moment. Spear comes a bit too late. That might be enough to keep Moon alive.
A bit too early,
depending on which way you want to call it. That's sure. Leslau chased, but
no stuns.
There's just nothing, dude.
We're watching. I feel like we're watching game 1 all over again, but this time the Terrorblade's got no farm.
Right. Oh, I remember how that one ended.
First pick advantage, man. It's coin flip Dota. What can you do?
What can you do? 8-1.
Sometimes it really feels like that in a series. Like when there's just this one here, like there's 3 heroes that you just don't know how to deal with.
Right.
And I feel like Undying has no idea how to deal with the Quincy Viper, right? Mid-CCZ Viper, and then obviously Ench is still. Oh, they got that Oracle save top. Luna's gonna try and pour it out.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just that though, right? It's just surviving.
Right. And even that was a close call. Getting back in the fountain, only back to half HP.
Yeah, he needs to keep farming.
Yeah.
They'll find Lesh here.
Okay. Leslau finds that kill onto Bryle, and Saberlight, having popped Exorcism, can't even really approach this tower here. And in fact, if he's not careful, Stomp connects, puts him to sleep. Do they want to go in afterwards? Doesn't look like it.
No, they're happy to wait out that Death Prophet ult. He's going to be real weak here for the next 2 minutes, so expect Radiant to start wrapping on this mid tower. They did use Haunt, so they may be content to farm just for a little bit, but I feel like they're in a pretty good spot. They could get active.
And I think that this is, again, just like getting back to those comfort heroes, you know, like Leslau. He's played so many of these Mars games. You've seen Quinn that's played Void Spirit a ton. The SVG ET, one of the most played for anybody. This is his hero, second most of all time.
Everything you're saying is true, but I think it's a fact at this point that Dota is way easier to play when you win all of your lanes.
That's true.
Right? Like if you have no winning lanes, games sometimes they just feel impossible.
Yeah.
Like where do you go? You can't make any moves. Everybody's stronger than you are. You have no team fight, right? Like Dire's having a hard time not just sitting back and just watching themselves lose this game because there's not really a play for them to make.
Well, and like now too, this hero that wants to move around and do stuff in the Leshrac, that would be like your sort of rallying point, right? And with Spectre Blade Mail, like how are you supposed to do anything?
Well, their idea was to go push this mid tower with the Leshrac and the Death Prophet ult, but then Luna got gone on top when she should have been bottom, farming triangle, and then Oracle and Nyx ported top to save Luna, and then Lesh dies mid.
Right.
So now here's Oracle getting gone on. Yule's timing for Mars, leading to a kill. Very nice.
All right, very good. 10-1, 3,000 gold lead at just 15 minutes. But tower's not taken. We haven't seen Quincy Crew be able to make that like concerted effort to shut down mid yet. And I guess maybe some of that is just because there is pretty intense team fight from Undying if they can stick on a target. And the lack of stuns has meant that they can't. So why walk into them?
Exactly. Yeah. The only way for Undying to get the fight that they so desperately need is for Quincy Crew to walk into their tower. And so Quincy Crew is just not doing that. And they're just maybe not building an advantage, but they're playing, pretty 50-50 and just waiting for this Spectre, who's this ultimate, mid to late game hero, to come online. And, he's going to, once he gets this Manta, he's going to be doing a ton of damage.
It's going to have a lot of damage for sure. It could be pretty devastating.
You can, I think that's when you can Roche as well, right? With Desolate plus Manta.
Right.
Doesn't have a lot of points in it yet, but makes Roche on like an objective you can take really quickly. They'll have a Solar Crest, but they have Medallion already on Ench, so I imagine she's going for Solar.
Yeah, that acceleration factor can be really nice, as another spear is going to come out, and Undying just sort of looking at Moon getting punched and pummeled, and well, they're chasing.
Yeah, they want to fight.
Taunt, Arena already out. Oh, the sleep, but he's still got the exorcism out. I don't know if it's going to be enough. They're going to blow them all up. Nobody's around to help. Where are your friends, Saberlight? They're all dead.
Oof.
No
now it's almost time to think about the size of shellacking that we're going to label this game.
Yeah, kind of feeling that way, isn't it? Well, Undying, I mean, if they can get into those first set of items and like actually fight with their ultis, and I mean, because that fight too, they didn't have Dubu there for it too, right?
No, exactly. They need a perfect fight where they're all together, but they're just getting spread so thin because they can't really stand together anywhere because they're so weak.
Right. Game is really hard with that. Oh, maybe a chance here to get another kill on the board. Oh no, Bryle gonna get speared back. Will lose a creep, but MSS took the words out of my mouth. I think it's a mistake that we gave Mojo his own line that he can spam when he's doing well.
No, why is it a mistake? I mean, we're all Team NA Dota here, right? Like, he's going to be spamming it at the major, dominating some.
That's what it feels like right now. As another catch here onto Moon, going to push him over to the arena side there. Gets it.
0-5-0.
Oof.
Rough game.
I think, as you said, that's what happens when you lose all the lanes.
Yeah.
Grove Bow. It's a nice pickup there for Luna. Also has the Imp Claw. Opting for that one right now for just the AFK farming that they need to do.
Yeah, they need better items if they're gonna have Lesh and DP cores. They did get the Essence Ring, which is pretty S tier, I think.
Yeah, and I guess that next round of items could be a little bit helpful. Do they have any more that are coming out for them? No, they've already got all theirs. A little unfortunate.
Yeah, DP got screwed in the neutral item exchange. Stuck with the Arcane Ring.
Quinn jumps away. Moon not quite able to catch. Has the 4 points in Spike Carapace, but just can't get on top of Quinn. So we'll retreat all the way back to the tier 1 tower. And every one of these moves, I mean, it's still more time to try and get Luna the farm that she needs. Like, if you look, she's about 700 gold behind the Spectre.
Yeah, I don't think it's not that bad. I because the game is still extending. Like, they're not. I mean, you would think in a game you're down 15-1, you'd just be constantly losing fights left and right. But there's I mean, the gold is still between 2 and 4K, which isn't that sizable.
Right.
It's pretty significant. 5K now at 19 minutes is pretty significant, but the game isn't over, right? They still have a mid tower. Radiant could mess up, is how I see it.
Well, and is MSS going to mess up right here? They have Eclipse ready. MSS pulled back in, Arena down, catches now onto DP, already down to half HP. Noir jumps onto Dubu, wants to get that finish, but they got the heal out onto Saberlight. Trying to make something happen here. Can they do it? Yule's lift up, they buy back on Dubu. And with that, the rest of Quincy crew going to retreat. But Moon does have a bit of an angle. Oh, they drop a sentry though. And notices that they're going to chase. Looking for a kill. Manages to get dropped, get killed. Yep, goes down.
Yep, another rough fight for Dire there, getting caught. I thought maybe they had something going for them, but it's just so hard for them to lock down anybody because they just don't have any stuns.
God, that's a dieback from Dubu now at 20 minutes, 19-1. Dude, Quincy crew, they want that spot at the major. They want to go right through into the upper bracket. And they're proving their worth right here. Beating everybody.
Very true, very true. I guess the big question is EG cheering for Undying or Quincy, right? Do they want a shot at getting first place in NA again? Like, because that's what happened last season, right?
Yeah.
This tiebreaker was forced, and then EG squeaked out ahead of Quincy crew, even though they lost in the regular season.
Right.
But with this win, Quincy crew will be first, EG will be second, so they'll be headed to the group stage. Bit of a change up here, but that does this like almost mathematically secures TI for Quincy crew.
Yeah, it's come close to it at least. That's what Knoxville tells me. I trust him.
Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna do the math yourself, right?
No, I'm not a person that does that. That's not my thing. Not my jam.
I enjoy the stats. I don't create them.
Ooh, look at this. Fewest kills for Undying at 20 minutes.
1, yeah.
that's up there.
It could be worse. It could be worse.
Wow. Yeah, definitely could. They were able to get on the board. Who was it again? Who's the feeder? Who's getting reported? LOA. Unbelievable. God. I mean, the net worth lead is one thing, but it's the experience lead that's the other, and really a struggle.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, wow, I didn't realize it was that significant. It's so hard for them to fight. Spectre, you're just so farmed. Like, when do you ever see Spectre at the top of the net worth at 22 minutes and not assume that the game is like already over?
Right. Well, we will see if they can pull something together here. Undying needing to find a way to either force a fight or just take a fight on good terms. And so far, Quincy crew's been able to deny them that opportunity. You guys gonna play the game? Yeah, I don't know what's happening there. They're going in for Roche, trying to take it.
Should be easy.
Yeah. Gonna head out to the other side, sending in some illusions at the moment.
Yeah, this could be Dire's only opportunity to get back in the game when Roshan is kind of fighting with them.
Oh, and they caught Moon. Yeah, they're on top of him. The beatdown is there. No Nyx Assassin and no fight for sure, as Quincy crew are going to go on in and finish the job here.
All right, do you think if Dire had a Roshan of their own under their control, do you think they could win a team fight against Radiant?
Like Yearby status?
Just like this level 1 Roche, you know?
Okay. Yeah, I think so. I think so. You know, you get that onto, you know, you force a good fight afterwards. I think that's the most important part, right? Maybe with an Aegis, Roshi.
With the Solar Crest from DP on Roshan, just watch him destroy everyone.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. Punch real hard. Problem is, you need a way to keep him in place, and I think that still is eluding Undying.
You're right. We actually need. He needs like a ranged boulder toss that stuns people.
Oh my God, they found Tomato. Just haunt. Nowhere to go. No BKB, and Tomato drops. Dude, what do you do against that? Oh, I guess just not be there. That's the answer. Damn,
That's tough. They need to split push. They need to pick some chances on the side lanes. Unfortunately, Radiant really just says, they're just on top of it, right? They've got great catch. They've got a Spectre haunt, right? If they find a big target on a side lane, they can secure that kill. And you can see Void Spirit and Mars are both just running around hunting at this point. Everything's a kill.
Anywhere they want to go, they're finding it. Another link here onto DP, maybe. Saberlight does manage to get out of there for the moment as Bryle, TP'd in vision, gets caught by the Yules. Just a little bit greedy there on the pony, and the spear is going to connect, out of mana. Dead again, 23-1. They just have not been able to play Dota at all. Devastating.
Oh,
can they get one?
Spectre. Spectre does have Aegis.
Oh God, you don't want to be here. They just run away from her. And the enemy carry alone on the other side of the map from their team and can't force the fight.
So Dyer's definitely waiting for. They got the BKB on Lash. They're still waiting on the BKB from Luna, and then maybe they can attempt something. Might want to wait for Aegis to go down though.
Well, Moon gonna get caught again, getting that vision up on the high ground there. They signal. All right, they dropped a ward. They'll go and buy that one and see if they can take that away. But right now, Quincy Crew stealing the camp away from the illusions, the Luna illusions. Oh, and they have Ench for the illusions too. Forgot about that one also. Damn, dude.
If the panel's listening, we need to determine what tier of shellacking is above Gaben tier. So this might be it. I mean, it's not over, but it just feels like it's just like a cat playing with a dead mouse at this point. No, barely alive, you know.
That is quite the visual. And it feels appropriate.
I see what I see.
It's fair.
Oracle's dead.
Got him again. DP, Saberlight, maybe have some trouble here as well. Gets the Yules. A chance for a turnaround. Can they kill MSS? Has he gone too far? Getting on the board for round 2 now, but big ulti going to be off the mark from ET. You are down to about a quarter HP, still hanging with that Aegis. And the Stomp going to connect onto Moon again, but nothing to follow. So they find themselves another kill. The second support to die in this game. That comeback gold though, right?
Yeah, it was a nice kill. Unfortunately, Moon's gonna give a little freebie. I think they knew this ward was here, right?
Yeah,
maybe he forgot. He must have forgot. But they did get the Enchantress. They did actually use a Death Prophet ult that achieved something for them. They defended their tier 2, and all that time, Tomato was not with them. So that was a good time for him to farm, and he's less than 1,000 gold to his BKB.
All right. And I mean, you look at these net worths, it does feel like there's sort of that like, there's a lead across all of the cores, but it hasn't transcended into that like each core has one item ahead of the others. It's more just that this timing that Quincy Crew hits of their items with this like Scotty being done from Spectre is going to be before Undying finishes theirs. And oh no, Tomato, you can't get caught like this right now.
He did
move into position and get the kill. Damn.
Devastating.
Dude.
Devastating.
Oof. That one hurts.
So close to BKB.
Oh. I think they were ganking bottom at the same time. And they just managed to get out of there. Another spear landing onto Moon. Ooh. Peter, 27-2. I don't know the last time I've seen a game like this. This is a rough one.
It was last week when I was casting the other NA DPC game.
Right, sorry.
Sad Boys versus EG. Actually, wait, I don't think that game made it to 28 minutes.
You're the commonality here. That's what I'm hearing.
No. I've been the king of the 2-0s. This is not necessarily uncharted territory for me. I did cast one other 3-game series this season.
Right.
But yeah, this has been what most of those 2-0s look like.
Oh. Looking for another setup here. Moon 1 in 10 so far in this game, and the Haunt comes out. Got him by Carapace, but the big jump and the kill. There's Eden on him.
Went bottom 2. Almost got Dubu.
I won't quite be able to get it in time. Yule's separating. You are pushing out bottom lane. And there's just, I mean, Bryle's just sitting in jungle. There's nowhere for him to go. He's got to push out this top lane now and probably put himself in danger again.
Hey, Luna got a Paladin Sword. Probably the best item that he could have got in this new tier of neutrals. And he's got his BKB. So Dire is ready to fight.
Are they?
Well, yes, I would say. I mean, realistically, maybe not, but they're ready for some sort of conflict, right? An engagement. Maybe a little skirmish. Maybe somebody on Radiant's not there. Maybe they walk into Spectre by himself and they can just, use everything. Who knows?
This is going to be their best chance, at least for now, is what I'm hearing from you.
And as a result, the scan, Quincy Crew too smart. They know. Luna's got her BKB. She's not farming. Where is she?
Really, really heads up play. Quincy Crew, I do not understand. They know exactly what's going on. And again, you can see that they don't want the same history to repeat itself. They want to try and end this one here. Go through first place in the major. See if it happens.
Yeah, now they're just about to finish Void Spirit's BKB. So it's going to be that they're probably just going to be willing to fight into this Luna BKB once they have that.
They are.
Or they could wait for another. Yeah, they could wait for another item on Spectre too. I mean, he's not terribly far away from Butterfly, but I think we're gonna have a fight right here. Elder Titan debate.
Another smoke, and as you said, nobody here. Void Spirit's not nearby, but the BKB comes out. Tomato pops his own. Now the turn. Wants to get one kill. Oh, look at the damage on the Saberlight. It's almost enough for the kill, but gets the Yules off in time. But Quinn comes in, ends his life afterwards. They take down Dubu. Manages to get the heal off first onto Lesh, but a big impale comes out. Maybe a chance here. No, not nearly enough. Dude, none of them going down. And they blow up Moon to boot. Ultra kill for Quinn as he came in to clean up. Pretty as can be. Quincy Crew take the fight, gonna go high ground, looking to end the DPC in style.
Yeah, that was their engagement, but really just not enough follow-up damage on that Elder Titan. Managed to get his Glimmer Cape off and just walked out of there and turned around and got off all of his spells. That fight was without Haunt, and Radiant just dominated, and they throw in the towel.
Damn. Ladies and gentlemen, all you fine folks out there, they're doing it. Saberlight gives them the congrats. Quincy Crew going through top of the NADPC.
Yep, very exciting, well-deserved. Congratulations to Quincy Crew and EG, who will be representing NA at the major.
What a picture. That looks appropriate right there. As we got a quick sight of Quinn. That was actually the live feed that we have of them. Just got a frozen pixel for a second. I mean, maybe the result that we were expecting, but Quincy Crew coming through, ending the game 33-3. Any other thoughts that you got on what you're seeing from them, and how obviously you've had a bit of a look into what's going on in the region that shall not be described. How are you feeling about this Quincy Crew relative to it?
Hoodwink is a meme